Freak spray, you won't find grease on their stovetop, or soap scum in their bathtub, or tomato sauce splatter in their...
Why are you looking at my microwave?
No reason.
Clean Freak is different than other spray cleaners. Its innovative spray nozzle delivers a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact, easily breaking down tough messes in seconds. Mr. Clean Freak.
Hey, it's Cuz. Are you getting ready for a home improvement cleanup? The garage, the bathroom, big move? Let me tell you about the perfect solution, the Bagster. The Bagster, by far the most convenient, affordable way to help with your cleanup. The Bagster isn't just a great product. It's a 3 cubic yard dumpster in a bag sold at Home Depot, Lowe's, local home improvement stores everywhere, and for only $29.99. Holds 3,300 pounds of waste. Buy it, fill it, schedule your collection, poof, it's gone. Clean it up with the Bagster dumpster. In the back.
As a contractor installing windows, you deserve a simple choice. Anderson 400 Series windows. They're the cladwood windows contractors trust the most. So much so, they're the windows contractors trust for their own homes. And they even have fewer callbacks for extra peace of mind. When it comes to windows, the choice is simple. It's Anderson 400 Series windows. The windows contractors trust the most. Request a quote at AndersonWindows.com today.
Claims based on 2022 Anderson brand survey of U.S. contractors.
Hey guys, Andrew here to congratulate my friends over at Family and Company Jewelers in Marlton, New Jersey. They were just named South Jersey Magazine's best bridal jewelry store for 2022. Guys, listen, if you're looking to get engaged, Family and Company is the only place to go. That's where I went. The largest selection of designer jewelry, the best service, and the best prices. Go see my man Angelo at the showroom. Tell him Andrew sent you, and they will take care of you. I promise. Online at FamilyJewelers.com. Family Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
With Philly Pretzel Factory, there are no wrong choices, but beware. Everyone loves pretzels, so be sure to get enough for the whole gang. No matter how big or small your celebration might be, there's a party tray for you. To find your nearest store, visit PhillyPretzelFactory.com and click Find a Store. Philly Pretzel Factory stores are ready and eager to serve you the hot, soft pretzel you've been longing for. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made. Find your store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Yo, Cuz, how you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
And a good Tuesday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas in for the Cuz. Anthony out until August 1st. So you got me until that date. And you got Tom Alvord, who is sitting in my seat today and will be the entire time Anthony is out. So I hope you have been enjoying the shows the last couple of days. And we are now 1 week away. 1 week away from the start of Eagles training camp. Full disclosure, I've been open about it multiple times. I get excited for day one of camp. Then day two happens and I say, when does the season start? But at least this is kind of one of those stepping stones, kind of one of those dates where you go, all right, we are closer to the start of the regular season. And so 1 week from today, the Eagles will be starting training camp at NovaCare. And that's exciting, man, because there is new life. There is new vibes with this team. Heading into last year, I think there were a lot of people excited, me included, right? I was excited for the Eagles season last year. I had my questions. I had my concerns. I had my doubts, you name it. But this year, there's even more talent on this team. And that is something to be extremely excited about. And you'll probably get more of an answer on some guys. Jalen Hurts, like I don't have to sugarcoat it. It's Jalen Hurts. We'll get more of an answer because a lot of people going into last year said we have to be patient. And at the end of last season, when the Eagles got destroyed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs, I was kind of ready to move on from Hurts, but only for a select few players, right? Like Russell Wilson was one of those guys. Obviously a lot of people were considering Deshaun Watson. I was not from the beginning, and thank God I wasn't because look at that mess that's going on in Cleveland. But there were players that were available via trade. Hell, Aaron Rodgers at one point was on the trading block or looked like he was going to be leaving Green Bay, and I would have sent everything and everybody to Green Bay to get Aaron Rodgers here in Philadelphia. It was only for a select few because we knew that this upcoming draft, next year's draft, April of 2023, would be this historic quarterback class. So it's not like I was going to move on from Jalen Hurts for anybody. It's not like I was just going to move on from Jalen Hurts to bump up Gardner Minshew to the starting quarterback spot. No, none of that was the case. There were a select few of quarterbacks that I wanted to try to replace Jalen Hurts with because you looked at the bones of the roster last year, and I liked what I saw. How could you not like the offensive line? How could you not like the wide receivers the youthful wide receivers in Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins? I wanted them to acquire a veteran slot receiver. That was kind of my offseason plan. My offseason plan was veteran slot receiver, get one of those quarterbacks via the trade, and then try to find ways to better the defense. And they did that. And it's not like it's really high-priced guys. Hassan Reddick, they gave a decent contract to. But other than that, it's not like they spent all that much money. James Bradbury's on a one-year deal. You bring in Tart on a one-year deal. You still have Epps and Anthony Harris that you're going to try to hope don't kill you at the safety position. I like the stuff that the Eagles did defensively, and I thought they still could have afforded one of those big quarterbacks, but they didn't get it done. They didn't want to trade those picks. And, hey, look what it turned out to be. Turned out to be Jordan Davis as a first-round selection because you would have moved on from that first-round pick. You got A.J. Brown. You would not have gotten A.J. Brown if you gotten one of those quarterbacks. You would not have been able to move one of your first-round picks to next year's draft if you needed another player, right? All those things would have gone out the window if you made a trade for one of those quarterbacks that was available. So I liked the bones of this team heading into last year. I liked the bones of this team coming out of last year. I didn't have that many concerns. I thought Howie Roseman did a great job with a lot of the contracts that he got people to sign to last year and during this offseason, where you have key players, key youthful players, locked up for some time now, right? Forget the players drafted last year and in this past draft where they're on their rookie deals for 4 or 5 years. Think about the players like Dallas Goedert and Avonte Maddox, guys that are key players on this team that are locked up for a couple of years, and then, of course, the deal that he makes with A.J. Brown. This Eagles team is set for years to come. There's just probably some questions that will need to be answered this year, and, of course, it's Jalen Hurts. But if you just look at the team on paper, which that's all we can do right now, I think this team is extremely talented. They do have a top offensive line in all of the NFL. They have a lot of talent at skill positions with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. We were having fun with the Madden ratings yesterday. Quez Watkins has a speed of 98, according to Madden 2023, which is the second fast receiver in the video game. Now, I get it. Video games is not real life, but we know that Quez Watkins has explosive speed. Something that I think a lot of people don't realize is he's not a one-trick pony. He's a guy that I saw last year running every route on the route tree, a guy that made contested catches. There were plays last year where he really impressed me, and I go, all right, yeah, I don't think he's a number 2 receiver, but if he's a third option, if he's a fourth option because Dallas Goedert is ahead of him, That's pretty impressive to have. So you look at the skill positions, offense, wide receivers, tight end, obviously with Dallas Goedert. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league, or up and coming tight end in the NFL. And then there's Miles Sanders, who, yes, he didn't score a touchdown last year, but we know that he has explosive stuff. And of course, I already got into the defense that I like the moves that they made during this offseason. So that's just me, right? That's my way of looking at it. Over the last week, ESPN has done something with Jeremy Fowler and a bunch of execs and scouts and coaches, all anonymous, of course, but they ranked the top 10 players at different positions on a football team, right? And we really the first one that they did was quarterback, and we really dove into that earlier this week. Tom and I did, or was that Friday, Tom? Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
The days are blending in. Today's only Tuesday, so it was Friday. It was Friday. And so we dove into the top 10 list, and Jalen Hurts is not in the top 10. The quarterbacks were Aaron Rodgers at 1, Patrick Mahomes at 2, Josh Allen at 3, Brady 4, Burrow, Stafford, Herbert. That was 7, Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Dak Prescott. That was your top 10. Your honorable mentions were Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, and Kirk Cousins also received votes. So that's 14 quarterbacks. Tom and I on Friday then tried figuring out exactly where Jalen Hurts is. It's not an exact science, so we didn't have an exact number, but we had him somewhere between 17 and 21. And so that was really the only position that we really dove deep into. Well, ESPN finished out the rest of the positions. Okay, so they are done offensively and defensively. Running back, tight end, wide receiver, defensive tackle, defensive lineman, linebacker, corner, safeties. And so what I want to do today, because we are now 1 week away from the start of training camp, I want to really dive deep into the talent on this Eagles team where we see it, right? Where I see it, where Tom sees it, where you see it on the phones at 610-632-0975. But I also want to see, what do these coaches, what do these executives, what do these scouts think about the talent on the Eagles? Because, you know, it's one thing for a guy who's a really big Jalen Hurts fan to say, I think he's a top 10 quarterback, okay? Well, the league doesn't think. All right, the league just doesn't. They don't even have him in the top 15. But we could try to figure out if our kind of expectations for individuals are completely crazy or not. Because we do that, right? We're fans, right? We're fans of teams, so we're always going to overrate players. We're always going to overrate teams. We're going to overrate on paper. We're going to overrate the schedule, saying it's so much easier than what I expected it to. We're always going to do that. If 9 wins is a reasonable total, we'll probably be saying 11-12, right? Like that's what we do as fans, and that's totally cool, especially in the middle of the summer when we are still months away from the start of the NFL season. So it's exciting to kind of project what you think the Eagles are going to do, what you project the players are going to do, all that stuff. So what I really want to try to figure out today is where exactly we kind of see these players and where the league itself sees these players. Now, we did the running backs. We went through that. Miles Sanders is a guy who also received votes, right? He was in the also received votes category like Kirk Cousins was for quarterbacks. I don't think that highly of Miles Sanders. I don't. I've been on that side for about 2 years now, 3 years now. But coaches, executives, and scouts think higher of Miles Sanders than I do. So in the same event where I go, yeah, we overrate players sometimes, and these coaches, scouts, executives, they clearly don't think the same way that we do. There are times where we may underrate a player, like me. And I know I'm a little bit on an island when it comes to Miles Sanders, because I do think a lot of Eagles fans think really highly of him, but I don't. But look, again, I'm just a guy on this radio station, right? I'm just a guy behind a microphone. I'm a fan just like you guys. I try to look at it a little bit differently sometimes, but ultimately it comes back to fandom with you, right? Well, Miles Sanders is thought of a little bit higher by the people that actually get paid to figure out rosters, to figure out talented players in the NFL. So I might be wrong when it comes to Miles Sanders, because the actual football people, the football guys, they think that Miles Sanders is a little bit better. A.J. Brown was a guy that was an honorable mention at the wide receiver position. I think we're all kind of on the same boat there. Nobody thinks that he's a top 5 wide receiver, but he's a guy that could be around that top 10 mark. Imagine if he didn't have Derrick Henry as the running back on his team, where it was clearly a run-first offense. This year, it's not going to be necessarily a run-first offense. You're going to have a lot of it mixed in with Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and stuff they can do, but you can see the offensive firepower that if Hurts is on, he's got a lot of weapons to throw to, and maybe A.J. Brown takes that leap into the top 10. So that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today. It's a deep dive. I have the ESPN Plus account. I know I am bougie, so I'm going to figure out where we think of our certain players along the Eagles roster and where the coaches and scouts and executives believe those players are at. So if you want to climb in and discuss it at 610-632-0975, I'd love to hear from you. Tom Alford, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
Are you ready to geek out a little bit, as Anthony says?
I can't wait, man.
I'm so excited because this team is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I may sound like a broken record because I've said it a lot, but I'm being serious. Like, I may not wish away the summer guy. I love baseball. I love the Phillies. I love the summer. I love going down the beach. I love doing everything during the summer months. But I obviously also know that when summer comes to an end, at least I have football season. I'm getting closer and closer to hitting that fast forward button. The only thing that's holding me back is obviously the Phillies are playing well right now, and that excites me. But, dude, I can't wait for this year because there's only a couple of – there's one hole on this Eagles team. That's the safety position. I don't trust Marcus Epps and Anthony Harris. I don't. And then my 2 question marks are Jonathan Gannon as defensive coordinator. I didn't like what he did last year. I understand he had a lack of talent defensively, but there are just things that he did that I didn't agree with. I don't think he made many adjustments. And when he did make adjustments, it was at halftime when they were down 3 scores. So there was always too late. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts is a question mark that I think we all have. But there's a lot of people. We had a Cowboys fan call in yesterday that said, hey, be patient. I try to look at the Eagles differently than you do because I'm a Cowboys fan, blah, 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 blah. I think Hurts can be pretty good. All right. I like that people are thinking highly of Jalen Hurts because the better that he is, the better the offense is, the better the offense is, the better the Eagles are, and I'm a happy man. So I know you're excited about this season too. Do you have any concerns right now with this Eagles team as we are now 1 week away from the start of training camp?
No, other than the things that you kind of broke down a little bit there, and those are the obvious ones, right? You have the safety position is a big-time question mark with Anthony Harris and Marcus Epps. They bring in Jaquiski Tartt. We'll see what ends up happening in training camp, who battles out for what positions. So be it. Then you obviously have the other 2 big ones as well, in Jonathan Gannon and in Jalen Hurts, which is it's just kind of a wait-and-see kind of thing. We're not going to learn anything in training camp, anything truly at least. Like we're going to hear some negatives about Jalen Hurts when he makes a bad pass or has a bad day. We might hear some good things about Jonathan Gannon and how good the defense looks. But let's be realistic. It's training camp. These guys got shorts on. They'll have pads on at some point. We have to just wait and see when it comes to those scenarios. Other than that, though, man, it's just – like, I have a little bit of issues with the depth at the DN position, potentially. Yep. I have issues with the depth at the cornerback position. If one of those – love the top 3 guys. They might be one of the top 3 trios in all of the NFL. If one of those guys goes down, you're relying on a Zech McPherson. I have issues about that.
But isn't that any team?
Sure, and I was just going to say that. Compared to other teams out there, other top teams out there, everybody has question marks. Everybody has holes. This is one of the most highly anticipated Eagles season coming up here. And we've been excited about it since, what, mid-March when they signed Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, and this was before the draft. You're
exactly.
Right.
And then the draft comes along, and we're always going to be excited after the draft. Oh, by the way, we're even more excited when they get Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, and A.J. Brown. It just raises the excitement, and we're finally here. We're 1 week away. I can taste it, and I can't.
I said it to you the other day when we were kind of talking about the Phillies trades and how there's going to be more and more rumors after the All-Star break comes to an end. I like it when my team works in the weeds because I love that excitement. I love when all of a sudden you get the boom, Phillies are finalizing a deal with, right? And we were talking about that with Castellanos.
Well, where'd that come from?
Like, whoa, wait, hold on a second. The mystery team when the Phillies traded for Cliff Lee. Like, I love being the mystery team. I know that there was video of Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown working out with one another. They're friends, right? I didn't think that. Like, there were so many people that as soon as Hurts and Brown were hanging out, it was, oh my God, could A.J. Brown come here? And I was like, nah, I don't
A lot of
think
NFL
so.
players work out with other players on
Exactly.
other teams.
And I go, nah, I don't believe so. I don't know how they're going to make that work. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking on Twitter because it takes 85 hours before the next pick happens in the NFL draft. And all of a sudden you see the Adam Schefter alert. And it's like, wait a minute.
Wait, what?
This isn't like Adam Slefter or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like rubbing my eyes. This isn't Adam Scheffler's mom. Like, this is Adam Schefter, blue check mark. The Eagles traded for A.J. Brown. I'm like, what? I love that kind of stuff. Like, I love it. And that added, like, if you knew for weeks on end that they were going to trade for A.J. Brown, takes away from the excitement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But when you find out out of nowhere that they get A.J. Brown, and now you have to change how you looked at the Eagles. In March, I was looking at the Eagles of, all right, let's see how it goes. Second they trade for A.J. Brown, you add a win. You obviously add a win immediately to your win total, maybe two.
Yes, easily.
And so that changes your excitement for the team. So we're 1 week away from the start of training camp for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know there are rookies reporting to some camps today, but 1 week away from the start of training camp for the Eagles, and I can't wait to discuss it. Here were the top 10 lists on ESPN.com. We will run through them all show today, and I want to debate some with you. I want to see where you think some players are. I want to see if you think some players are underrated via ESPN. And it's not via ESPN. Let me make it clear. It's the coaches, it's the executives, and it's the scouts. So what Jeremy Fowler did was the top 10 edge rushers. You just heard Tom talk about kind of his concern of the lack of depth on the defensive end for the Eagles. They did top 10 defensive tackles, top 10 off-ball linebackers, top 10 cornerbacks, top 10 safeties, top 10 interior offensive linemen, top 10 quarterbacks, which we just discussed, top 10 running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and offensive tackles. So we will go through those lists throughout the show today. I haven't looked at all of them yet. Like, I know the quarterbacks. I know the wide receivers. I know the running backs. So there might be a list where I click on and I go, well, where is this guy? Like, full disclosure, I don't know where Darius Slay is with the cornerbacks. I know that Darius Slay is always severely underrated when it comes to the NFL. I would not be shocked. I'm telling you right now, if he's not in the top 10, and I'll go, that is completely ridiculous because Darius Slay has been a home run of a signing from Howie Roseman since he's come here. Has been fantastic. So we're going to have a lot of fun Eagles talk today at 610-632-0975. Also, last night, home run derby. Was it rigged, Tom?
Yes.
It was rigged?
It was so sketchy the entire time.
Now, I have to ask because I didn't make the effort. I wasn't bothered by it. I'm just saying, I'll just say it right now, flat out. I wasn't bothered by it. I need somebody to actually go back and count the Schwarber home runs. Because it's one thing for people to say, look, he hit 2 home runs, but they only gave him 1 more. Was it a delayed counter tracker? Did somebody end up going back and watching every home run? Like, did Kyle Schwarber actually get robbed of a home run? Do we know for a fact?
When it actually was happening, I watched it and I was seeing the numbers go up, and I'm like, that's weird. I feel like they missed one there. And then he loses, and you don't think twice about it because you trust that they're doing their job. They've been preparing for this for a year. It's ESPN, the biggest market out there when it comes to sports. I trust them that they did their job. And then you start seeing stuff on Twitter like, no, like they missed a home run here. He got robbed here, and it kind of confirmed it for me. It just, the whole thing was sketchy. There was times where I think Soto in the last round hit like 2 more homers than he had to because they missed one. It was all over the place last night. But yeah, I do believe that there is some legitimacy to Kyle Schwarber getting robbed.
So let me ask you something. I guess they're trying to get Pujols to stick around for another round. Maybe that's what it is.
Undeserved.
There are also people, and we'll discuss that later on today too, because you and I are on opposite ends about something, I think. So Kyle Schwarber, not only did he apparently get robbed of, the home run derby in the first round, not even in the championship round, but in the first round, there were also a lot of people that were upset with the lack of love that Schwarber got. First off, let me point out he was going up against Albert Pujols, right? So let's be honest with ourselves. Albert Pujols is in the final year of his incredible Hall of Fame career. He's going up against them, so they're obviously going to talk a lot about Albert Pujols more so than Kyle Schwarber. But I know there was a lot of people that we're bothered by the lack of love that Schwarber was shown, which means the lack of love that the Phillies were shown, which means the lack of love that Philadelphia was shown. I have to ask you, was it a Pujols thing, or there is such a thing as the bias, or I guess the anti-bias, the anti-Philadelphia bias? Because people do hate us. It is obvious. So something I want to try to discuss today at 610-632-0975. And maybe this will be the poll that we do today, Tom. We do the whole no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care, right? We say that, but 5 minutes later, somebody rips us and we get angry about it, right? And
defensive.
I do it too. Every time that guy, Michael Wilbon, rips Philly, it's just like he almost has it as an agenda. Like in the back of his mind, he's got to reach a quota, right? Once a month, I got to hit 10 anti-Philly jokes on my show today, right? So we say that no one likes us, we don't care, but then we get angry every time we get ripped. Then there's been a weird change over the last couple of years, and I've had this conversation with Anthony. I brought this to his attention, I think, a year and a half ago. He was against it, but has since started to agree with me. Like it was one of those, like, once I put it in his brain, he started noticing it more.
The gears start going.
That we're almost becoming too nice, that I think we're, like, trying to almost get rid of that old Philadelphia thing where, like, we're the nasty fan base. Like, I think there are people that overly try to be nice, to be like, no, we're not those rough and rowdy fans that you saw 10, 20, 30 years ago. I'm not my dad, right, who calls everybody a bum. No, like, I love every player, right? I talked about this last week. Donovan McNabb's the greatest quarterback in franchise history. There are still people that hate Donovan McNabb. Jalen Hurts might not be a good quarterback, right? We'll find out this year. But my God, is that dude loved, right? And I think that's great. Like, I love that we're supporting Jalen Hurts. I love that we're not just trying to kick him to the curb. We should do that with all of our players. But what I sense is, like, I think there's a little bit too much lovey-dovey going on, and I wonder if it's in the back of our mind we don't want to be those nasty Philly fans from back in the day. So are we now at a point where we should just try to embrace it? Like, should we just embrace that nobody likes us? Instead of getting defensive, and then instead of, like, trying to change who we are so that maybe we're looked at differently nationally, they're never going to change how they look at us. I almost think we should just embrace it at this point. I want to get your thoughts on that, Tom, on the other side, and we'll put the poll up as well on the station's account, 97.5 The Fanatic. 610-632-0975. We have a lot more in store today. Jeff McClain will join the show to help preview the start of training camp. We'll speak to Jim Salisbury later on today as we get closer to the MLB trade deadline. So a lot in store for you today right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber struggles in the Derby. I'm Tom Alborn. This update is brought to you by New Jersey Division of Travel and Tourism. Boost your mood in New Jersey. Savor sea breezes, the call of adventure, or drift into the blue. Find it all at visitnj.org. Yes, Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber entered last night's home run derby with the second best odds to take home the trophy, but could get nothing going as he was upset in round one by 42-year-old Albert Pujols 20-19. National star Juan Soto defeated Julio Rodriguez in the final and became the second youngest derby winner ever. It was the first derby final to feature two players 23 years old or younger. Schwarber looks to have some better fortune tonight as he is the only player representing the Phillies in the All-Star game. First pitch for tonight's game is at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday, according to multiple reports, as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just one game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot. Jeff McClain joins the show a little bit later on to discuss the move and much more. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Well, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact NJDiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to NJDiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. If you're not sure you can do it alone, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com and lose the weight for good.
Hey, kids, I'm going to Wawa. Anybody want anything? It's Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is here.
So, classic meatball and classic Italian with cherry pepper relish. And a new picture frame.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
There's an epic cookie battle happening right now at Wawa. Will it be Oreo cookies and cream frozen beverages? Or will you choose Chips Ahoy cream smoothies, milkshakes, and more? If you can't choose one, go for both in our limited time ultimate cookie mashup, made with real pieces of Oreo and Chips Ahoy cookies. 2 legendary cookies, 1 epic frozen treat. Gotta have a Wawa.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WORK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WORK. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WORK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WORK for a $5 bonus.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets, all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Lawn and Golf Supply Company in Phoenixville are the leaders in outdoor power equipment. Take on your yard with the top equipment from Club Cadet, Ferris, Redmax, Steiner tractors, Generac generators, and more. Whether you need a weed whacker or a zero turn, they've got it all. Don't settle for the big box stores. Get higher quality and dealer exclusive equipment. Lawn and Golf Supply Company has your leaf blowers, generators, utility vehicles, tillers, tractors, riding mowers, and more. Check them out at lawn-golf.com. That's lawn-golf.com. Lawn and Golf Supply Company. Everything turf.
Communities need support now more than ever as they work hard to recover from the impact of the pandemic. That's why Lowe's has selected the first 100 community-nominated projects as part of its Lowe's Hometowns program. This $100 million commitment, the company's largest ever commitment of its kind, is part of Lowe's goal to make a positive impact on the millions of Americans in the communities it serves. Communities can find details of every Lowe's Hometowns project and their progress on the Lowe's Hometowns landing page at #Lowe's Hometowns on social media.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
It's John Kincaid. There's only one thing I really need to be happy. That's keeping my wife happy. And that's why a beautiful backyard paradise at our new home from Landis Block and Concrete will do the job for me. Beautiful patios, an outdoor kitchen, a fire pit, a retaining wall, whatever we want. Landis Block is going to be my resource for outdoor living. You just need the imagination, the space, and a budget. So lean on them. Trust them. You're not going to have to worry about a thing. Check out the photo gallery at landisbc.com. That's landisbc.com, because Landis Block is going to create the Kincaids a jaw-dropping outdoor paradise.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
10:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. 10 o'clock hour, of course, brought to us by Window Nation, the great people at Window Nation. And, of course, right now, what you can do is take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows, plus make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Sometimes I put too much on the sheet, and then I realize I didn't put it on the sheet, the sponsorship there. But don't worry. I'm quick with the phone. And I know you gave me one right to my left.
Yeah, how about that?
That I just completely ignored. But you know what I'm not going to ignore on the sheet that you gave me? My God, can you smell it from in there?
I can.
So we got an incredible food drop today. I mean, it's going to feed. Usually here at a radio station, you run out of food like that. We're going to have leftovers today. And hopefully not sit in the fridge for God knows how long.
Please no.
Like the other day that we went through the fridge and found something that I don't even know what it is anymore. But there's so much food today that I think people can actually take some stuff home, which is awesome. Buffalo Wild Wings. My God. First off, the smell is intoxicating. I put some on a plate next to me for our YouTube audience. Shocker. I'm keeping the little plastic over top of my plate to keep it warm. And I know I'm Mr. Cold Food, but I'm actually trying to keep it a little bit warm. I'm going to wait a little bit because I ate the eggs right before the show started. Yeah, I might not be feeling well. But, dude, it smells so good in here. I'm so happy that they're here. Buffalo Wild Wings, they have specials on food from 3 to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, and great deals on drinks all day. Valid at participating locations while supplies last. Dine in only. Tuesday nights, Buffalo Wild Wings has buy one, get one, half off traditional wings, so stop by today. They have all kinds of stuff over there. Tom, are you, and we'll get into a wing discussion today.
Can't wait.
There's the flats, there's the drumstick, there's the boneless conversation. Oh, boneless wing's not a wing, it's a chicken nugget, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If you like boneless, eat it. I got some boneless right here. Are you just a traditional, like, hot wing, mild wing guy, or you also go, like, a different flavor?
I'll dabble with a little bit of everything, but if I'm getting wings for myself, I always just go traditional, mild.
Okay.
And the flats, superior.
Okay.
The top tier. But, yeah, I usually just go traditional, mild buffalo wing. Why not? It's perfect as it is. Why do I have to change things around?
This is why I love Buffalo Wild Wings for bringing in the food today, because it's not just the traditional. They do have some traditional out there, but they also have the Asian Zing.
Look at that.
Which I can't wait to try. They have the hot and honey, which is my favorite. I'm a hot and honey or a honey barbecue, hot honey barbecue.
A spicy garlic that is very good as well.
See, I don't see that back there, but when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings next, I will 100% get that because that sounds fantastic. So we have, at some point today, I'm going to do some fun stuff for you. We have two $50 gift cards to give away to Buffalo Wild Wings, which is just awesome. Like, that's a party. Right, you go there with a couple of your boys or, the girlfriends, girls' night out, and you do the Buffalo Wild Wings, got a lot of beer. They still have some of the best TV commercials that there are where they try to delay the ends of games so you can keep on staying at the Buffalo Wild Wings. Great TV commercials. So $50 gift cards. I got two of them today that I will give out at some point during the show. So thanks to Buffalo Wild Wings for dropping off the food today. So before we went to break, I mentioned the Kyle Schwarber home run derby fiasco yesterday. A lot of people saying he was robbed. And I'm not going to have a discussion of whether was Kyle Schwarber robbed. 610. No, I'm not going to have that discussion. But I know that there are people that think he was robbed because of the Philadelphia bias or the anti-Philly bias. There's also people that took exception that he didn't get much love during that first round and that there was so much love on Albert Pujols. So I got a tweet from Mickey Dew because I asked, what are we doing here? Because we do No One Likes Us, We Don't Care, but then we get angry when we don't get enough love. Like, my God, you watch an Eagles game. They are pretty damn good, the broadcasters. Play-by-play, color analysts. They're pretty damn good at what they do. That's why they are in their positions. Some of them are obviously overrated and should no longer be in the booth. And some guys like Jonathan Vilma don't even watch football anymore and then all of a sudden get paid a lot of money to say that Doug Peterson is a run-first head coach. I still remember that. That was completely crazy to me. But, for the most part, the color analysts and the play-by-play guys are pretty good, and they're fair. They're unbiased. But if there's a little bit of not enough love, oh, my God, do we have issues with it? So what should we do? Should we just embrace the hate that we get? Should we ignore it at this point? Or should we try to change how people look at us? Mickey Dew checks in on Twitter. Love the quote, nobody likes us, we don't care, ... But we do. We hear a slight statement about Philly in a negative way. That person is done. I really want to see we don't care mentality. Now, Tom, I know that we have a poll up and running, correct?
Do. Yes, we do.
Can you please let us know who the poll is brought to us by? And, of course, let us know what the poll is.
I would love to do that. So the poll of the day is brought to you by Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is open and able to assist you with any emergency service and replacement needs, including installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. Visit marvinecans.com. So, on the official 97.5 The Fanatic Twitter account, people seem to take exception with what happened to Kyle Schwarber last night. Whether he was robbed or not, it felt like there was an anti-Philly bias during the Derby. How should we handle the anti-Philly bias from now on? You got three options there, Andrew, and you listening out there. We can either fix it, embrace it, or ignore it. Just put this up a couple minutes ago. Very early results. Ignore it winning at 59%, embrace it at 27%, and fix it at 14%. So a lot of us, majority, want us to ignore it.
So embrace it is just 27%.
27%, correct.
I am team embrace it. Because it's never going to change, right? So, yeah, you can ignore it, but you know what? I'm cool with being the villain. I am. Like, I can't wait. And God, please, for the love of God, can the Sixers win? Championship. Please. I am begging you. Please. I am so excited for when, right, sports god, Mr. Snuffy? Right, Mr. Snuffy, I know you're listening. Right, when the Sixers win the NBA championship, I can't wait for the entire damn basketball nation to hate it. I can't wait because they hate Joel Embiid. They hate James Harden.
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey is hated.
Doc Rivers, but more just like that.
Daryl Morey is more hated from a basketball side, like the business side of things,
sure,
right?
yes.
Not like some random Kings fan, right? No. It's the whole China thing, all that kind of stuff, right? So Daryl Morey is hated. The Sixers are hated league-wide because of the process. The Sixers are hated fan base, NBA fan base wide because of the process, right? So I can't wait for the Sixers to win the title, not just because it's going to be the Sixers and I love them, but it's because it's going to piss off so many people across this damn country, and I'm going to love it, which is why I think we should embrace it, Tom. I'm guessing you're an ignore it guy. You seem like a live and let live guy. So am I.
That's how I am.
But sometimes I get tired of being nice and living and let live. No, screw that. We are peed on constantly. We are kicked when we're down constantly. Hey, about how hard you hit, about how hard you get. Hey, get back up, right? Sly told us that.
Get me pumped up, man.
I'm tired of it, man. I want to embrace being hated, embrace being villainous. Listen, do I think people bringing up snowballs at Santa is weak? Yes. Well, you know what? We should tell them that it's weak and not try to tell the story of, well, no, the Santa Claus was drunk and it happened so long ago. No, you know what? Just spit right back in their face, okay? If it's a Cowboys fan, tell them the last time that they've seen a Super Bowl, their Super Bowl show was on a VHS tape, all right? Take shots right back. Embrace it, damn it. I want to be like that kid when the Vikings fan was trying to tell him that he was being disrespectful and he's screaming, "Go Birds, go Birds." I want that kind of energy, all right? I want that kind of energy from us as Philadelphia fans every single day. I saw a guy, Tom, when the starting lineups came out for the All-Star teams, go, Bryce Harper, not an all-star again. You moron. He is hurt. He was named the DH, the starter at DH. He is injured, which is why he's not playing. You, sir, are an idiot, and I can't believe you say that you watch sports. I saw it on Twitter yesterday. So why don't we just embrace it, man? Why?
That was a good job by you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think...
Let me guess. You're live and let live.
See, now you're just attacking me for
You're
no
telling
reason.
me to ignore it.
I feel like we did the embracing thing the last 40 years, and that's why there is an overcorrection. I think we have been embracing it, and I think at times we can embrace it when something egregious happens, like Bryce Harper's left off an All-Star game, or Zach Wheeler's not being voted as the NL Cy Young winner, whatever. I think there's certain situations, but for the most part, other fans are going to hate us for the rest of our lives. It's nothing we can do will ever change that. They hate what happened back in the 70s and 60s. No overcorrection will be able to change that. So I think we embrace it in times in certain situations, but for the most part, just ignore it because we're not changing anything. Sorry to bring it down.
No, you're not bringing me down. I just think you're wrong. You are wrong. I want to embrace it. I get that. I don't, but here's the thing. I don't think we did embrace it for the last 40 years because every time, I think we just did things. I do think we have evolved a little bit, which I think is good. I'm not saying that we should get in fights and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying stop. I want to stop getting offended when somebody takes a shot at us. Just take a shot back.
I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes we're a little too, it feels like we're being soft all of a sudden when it comes.
Yes, and I don't want that.
No, I don't like that either. Part of what makes us great Philly fans and great fans out there is being able to, take a shot and then give a shot right back to them and not take it too personally.
Yes.
But it feels like at times we're taking things too personally.
Yeah, so ignore that. I guess
yes.
Ignore it that way, but I also want to embrace it where we take the shots right back.
Yeah, I don't want us living just ignore all hate regardless. We don't have to talk about anything. We don't take any shots back at anybody. No, I don't want to live like that, but I think it's selective process of what we're doing.
All right, so I want to discuss that today. How should we handle the anti-Philly bias from now on? Because I think we have. Do you sense that people are nicer now and almost sometimes overly nice?
I think it's an overcorrection. I really do believe
and
that.
I think
that was my dad that did all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, I'm glad that you see it this way. And
No,
maybe
I
it's
agree.
because we're a similar age, whereas Anthony's a little older than me. So maybe, but he's starting to turn around. He's starting to be like, wow, you know what? I think you're actually right when it comes to this. But I'm glad that you and I, same age, you kind of see it that way where it's like, oh, no, I'm not screaming he's a bum. I was when I was a kid. Now, am I calling people bums left and right nowadays like I was back then? No. But it's still in me. It's still deep down in me, man.
It'll find its way out from time to time.
It will when necessary?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I think we should try to embrace it a little bit more because I think we are trying a little too hard to be like, wait, no. We actually are a nice fan base. There was one of these social media I don't even know what to call it, where they just do the research and they have some sort of search engine where they look up, they type in Eagles, right? And they type in fans.
On Reddit or something
yeah,
like that.
And they try and they do all the different social media accounts. They do Twitter, they do Instagram, they do Reddit, like you said. And it popped up on my Twitter feed yesterday, which is kind of the reason it's perfect that the Schwarber stuff happened last night after I saw this during the day yesterday. Eagles fans ranked as the most annoying fan base in sports or in football. Not all sports, of football fans, Eagles are the most annoying fan base. And I know right away people got upset by it, right? Like, no, we're not that annoying. We just really care. Blah, blah, blah. Just embrace it, man.
See, my first thought is that's annoying. We're not the most annoying fan base. And then I thought, if that's a ranking right now in 2022, then nothing's ever going to change.
Never.
So we should embrace that point. All right, whatever. We're the most annoying then. Bleep you. Go Birds.
Yes. Thank you, Tom.
Select opportunities.
Come to my side, Tom. Come to my side. 610-632-0975. That's the number to get in. And obviously, we opened the show talking about the position rankings that Jeremy Fowler did with the coaches and executives and scouts around the NFL. We talked about it a lot last week with the quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, but they finished out all the positions around a football team, so we'll continue to dive deep into those. Jalen Hurts obviously was not mentioned among quarterbacks. Tom and I tried to figure out where he was. We said he's between 17 and 21. Miles Sanders was not an honorable mention for running backs, but he was a guy who received votes. So there are coaches, scouts, and executives that think higher of Miles Sanders than I do. So that kind of excites me. And A.J. Brown was an honorable mention for the wide receivers. So we'll start looking through some of the other ones. I want to start with cornerbacks, but let me go to the phone first because I know Mark in Boston wants to talk about the position rankings. Mark, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I know you didn't really reveal the position rankings yet, but I think, for the Birds roster, I don't think we really have any guys in the elite category for any of the positions really at this stage. Well, except for maybe Lane Johnson. He's still probably an elite tackle, but in Kelsey, I would say.
Kelsey, because they do interior linemen. Now, that obviously counts guards. I would have to expect Jason Kelsey is in the top 10. If he's not, that's egregious, especially when he was all-pro last year.
No, he's definitely still in the top. Have a couple, maybe a center or two that are above him just because it's based on age. But then you start to look at guys like Landon Dickerson is an up-and-coming league-wide star at guard. You know what I mean? So he's on the up and and then Jordan Mailata is definitely on the up and up for left tackles. He's like right there. He's right outside of one of the top. He's on his way up. And then in terms of corners, Slay is good, but he's a little bit old, so that's probably why they have him outside the top 10. So if you look, there's 10 corners that are definitely better than Slay in the league. If you look, Humphreys and
listen, I think he is underrated. Nationally, I think people.
What makes you say he's underrated?
Because I think he is a guy that goes out there every single week, and dude, he has not been burnt one. He has had, I think, one bad game in his time here in Philadelphia, and that was against DK Metcalf when him and Russell Wilson were having a career year together, right? Other than that, I mean, the dude has been absolutely solid every single week for the Eagles.
He has been solid. I mean, his weakness is really tackling, and that's probably why.
Yeah, but has he? I don't think he's killed the Eagles. I think one of the big things is he's not an interception machine, right? Like, he's not coming away with 10 picks in a season.
He used to be.
Right, but here's the thing. It's not his fault they don't throw it his way because of how much he's locking down his opponent.
Right, because they pick on the other side because they know that's
it's a weaker side, yeah, but it's also because of how well he's covering guys. So I don't know. I just think he's a little bit underrated nationally, and I do have the top 10 list of corners. He is not in the top 10, but he is the second honorable mention, so that would have him 12th in the NFL.
And I think if this were 3 or 4 years ago, you would see him in the top 10. I just think it's an age thing at this point.
All right, so Mark, I appreciate the call, and I like your point that there's not like an elite player. I think there's an elite group that's offensive line. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I guess he's right there that there isn't really an elite player where you go, yes, this guy is top 3 in the league. I think Jason Kelsey is probably in that conversation for the center position, but that's obviously not a sexy position to really talk about.
There's no Aaron Donalds. There's no like Jalen Ramseys, but it's a lot of good play, like really good players.
When you do groups,
like fringe
offensive line, you can argue is the best offensive line starting 5 in the NFL.
And depth-wise in the NFL, just group as a whole.
Depth-wise too, you're right. Yeah. So I can make the case that as a group, they are the best offensive line in all of football. Corners, if you go, like you said, just the top 3, arguably with Slay, Bradbury, and Avonte Maddox, that they could be arguably a top trio in the NFL at the cornerback position. Maybe not 1 or 2, but in the top 5.
Yeah, and same thing when it comes to the wide receiver group as well. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal. Like A.J. Brown is fringe top 10, I think.
He was in the honorable mention for wide receivers.
But there's no Justin Jefferson. There's no Cooper Kupp up there. But the group as a whole, you could look at as one of the better ones in the league.
Yeah, sometimes the top receiver, like a Cooper Kupp, could add more weight to the Rams. Like how, they're obviously better than the Eagles because they have Cooper Kupp alone. He's going to make Van Jefferson better and the rest of that.
Look at the Packers. The Packers are always ranked when they had Devontae Adams as one of the best receivers.
And now that he's gone, they're not.
5.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
It's weird how that works.
So I mentioned Darius Slay is an honorable mention. So here's the top 10 corners according to the Jeremy Fowler piece where he spoke to a bunch of people around the league. Jalen Ramsey, number 1. I take no exception to that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Darius Slay is the best corner in the NFL. Number 2, Marshawn Lattimore of the Saints.
Really, really good.
I'm going to say this going through the list. it is kind of hard to say Slay, like it's a lock that he's better than this person. Like I thought the quarterback list, Dak should not have been in the top 10.
Agreed.
Like I thought that was kind of ridiculous. Jair Alexander of the Packers is number 3. Xavier Howard with the Dolphins is
Just
number
got big
4.
money.
Yeah, I mean, like, and now to round out your top 5, J.C. Jackson of the Chargers, right? So pretty good top 5.
Yes, yeah. I can't say that Darius Slay is better than any of those guys.
Right.
Definitively.
Number 6 with Cleveland, Denzel Ward.
Really good.
Number
player.
7, very young, but I wanted him really bad in the draft. Now I'm not complaining about Devontae Smith by any means, but Patrick Surtain the second is.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
He's going to be an absolute stud. And
hey, Devontae Smith lost him last year, if you remember. So
and it's just crazy. Like we're going to talk so much Smith and Micah Parsons over and over and over again. Yeah. Dude, Patrick Surtain's a guy that I'm going to keep my eye on. Our caller just mentioned Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey, number 8 with the Baltimore Ravens. A.J. Terrell, 9 for the Atlanta Falcons. And then coming in at number 10, I think slightly overrated. But, like, he had a lot of picks last year. He also gave up the most. He also gave up the most yards, and that's Trayvon Diggs.
Classic.
Now, Trayvon Diggs at number 10 is not as egregious as Dak Prescott at number 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think
he made a lot of plays last year.
So gave up a lot of plays.
And
so, like, maybe Darius Slay's not as big of a home run hitter as a Trayvon Diggs, but he is not getting burnt nearly as much as a Diggs. So it's more like reliable, more consistent when it comes to a Darius Slay compared to a Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, sometimes, like, because Darius Slay doesn't have interceptions, it's almost like it's, that hurts him in these kinds of conversations. But, dude, guys are afraid to throw to him.
Yes.
You look at the wide receivers and who he has locked up one-on-one in his 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, he's been incredible except for that DK Metcalf game. And I think there was maybe Justin Jefferson. No, Amari Cooper beat him up pretty bad.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper was having his career year that year. So in 33 games, he's been pretty damn good.
So this is Victor Williams on Twitter. Darius Slay against opposing pass catchers last season. Calvin Ridley, 0 yards. Kenny Golladay, 0 yards twice. Amari Cooper, 6 yards. Keenan Allen, 10 yards. Antonio Brown, 14 yards. DJ Moore, 14 yards. Tyreek Hill, 15 yards.
That's stupid.
That's crazy. That's really good.
Like how Tyreek Hill had one play that game, and it was when Anthony Harris was trying to lock him up one-on-one. Like, I don't know. I think Darius Slay should get more love, honestly. Tre'Davious White is the first honorable mention with the Bills. That's fine.
Yeah, really good.
And then Darius Slay. So maybe Slay's not in the top 10, but, I mean, 12's not a bad number.
To me, that's just there's a ton of really good cornerbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
The fact that Slay can even be mentioned in that is a really good thing.
But that Diggs, White, Slay, I think, is a conversation that you could have. So, I don't know. I think Slay is underrated nationally. Maybe 12 is a good spot, and it's not a slap in the face. Like, it's still pretty damn good. Just to round it out, Carlton Davis of the Bucks was the 3rd honorable mention. And then the also receiving votes players were J.C. Horn, L'Jarius Sneed, and Kenny Moore II, and Stephon Gilmore. Those were and Stephon Gilmore could go back up there. He could. He's very talented. He could climb back up into the top 10 at some point.
Sure, he could also, Father Time might be taking another victim
that could
as
happen
well.
too, yeah. So, your thoughts on that at 610-632-0975, but we will continue to dive into the other top 10 rankings around the NFL and where the Eagles stand. Do we overrate some players? Do we underrate some players like with Miles Sanders? And where do the actual executives, coaches, and scouts look at these teams? Also coming up, we have morning thoughts at 11:10. And there's 2 things that happened yesterday that are going to be included in my morning thought that we're going to discuss the rest of the show. Swan song seasons, all right? And the amount of love that Derek Jeter gets. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto wins the Derby. I'm Tom Alborn. This update is brought to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, wide sandy beaches. Maine has them. It's summer and the water is calling. Visit Maine.com. This message sponsored to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Yes, 23-year-old division rival Juan Soto became the 2nd youngest Derby champion ever as he defeated Mariners rookie Julio Rodriguez in the final. Soto took home the crown despite hitting 29 less homers than Rodriguez did total. Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber was upset in the first round by 42-year-old Albert Pujols as he hit just 19 home runs to Pujols' 20. Rounding out the All-Star break festivities is the 92nd MLB All-Star game that begins tonight at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. Second-year Ray Shane McClanahan will be facing off against hometown legend Clayton Kershaw to begin the game. Kyle Schwarber is the lone Philly participating. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday, according to multiple reports, as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just one game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot. Jeff McClain joins the show a little bit later on in the show to discuss the move and many other moves this past offseason. Keep it locked to Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Malborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app. I love to explore the daily and weekly promotions. I play with live dealers, and if I ever have a question, well, the best-in-class customer support team helps me 24/7. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with promo code Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's promo code Bob.
Hi, it's John Kincaid, and I've got a success story for you, and it's a personal success. I've been telling you about CoPair Health and how Vance has been leading me through the process, trying to lose some weight and feel my best before football season. How about 22 pounds in 11 weeks? And I feel great, and I feel confident, and I know that CoPair has helped me out. For all of July, mention me, and you're going to save hundreds of dollars. While most costs are higher than ever, CoPair is offering its greatest value to help you lose weight and feel better. This personal coaching system is going to help you understand what foods to eat, when to eat them, how you work out, and more importantly, get you in the right state of mind so the weight loss comes easy. Go to COPAREhealth.com. That's COPAREhealth.com and tell them John Kincaid lost 22 pounds in 11 weeks. I know I can do it. I can promise you. You can. You just need a little help. And CoPair's going to give it to you. Go to CoPairHealth.com.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Listen, it's a big deal to replace your roof. Trust me, I get it. You just don't want any company. You want roofing experts. So call New Look Home Design. They've installed over 40,000 roofs all over the country. On average, they install one roof every hour. So you know that they have the experience and professionalism that you're looking for. New Look offers same-day on-site or virtual estimates, whatever's best for you. They provide a 3D rendering of your home, showing you exactly what your new roof will look like, and every estimate includes line-by-line pricing, so you know exactly what you're paying for to the very last shingle. And in my opinion, best of all, they offer a lifetime warranty, so you know exactly that they stand behind their work. Through July 31st, get 50% off all roofing materials, plus no payments, no interest financing for 12 months. That's right. Get your new roof now and make no payments for a full year. If you need a new roof or are just exploring your options, take my advice and call New Look Home Design, the roofing experts. Call 800-279-5300 or visit them online, newlookhomedesign.com. That's nulookhomdesign.com, and tell them Andrew sent you.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
With Philly Pretzel Factory, there are no wrong choices, but beware. Everyone loves pretzels, so be sure to get enough for the whole gang. No matter how big or small your celebration might be, there's a party tray for you. To find your nearest store, visit PhillyPretzelFactory.com and click Find a Store. Philly Pretzel Factory stores are ready and eager to serve you the hot, soft pretzel you've been longing for. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made. Find your store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering.
Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buffalo Wild Wings has happy hour bar food from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, and great deals on drinks all day. It's the perfect way to offset a long day. Text that hilarious joke about your boss to your boss.
What? No.
Try a $3 Wild Herd by Goose Island. Set your morning alarm for 6 p.m. That calls for $5 strawberry margaritas. So if you ask your phone why you're still single and...
Ha ha ha. Seriously?
Head to Buffalo Wild Wings. At participating locations, taxes and fees apply. Dine in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
The MLB Ballpark app is your mobile companion for your next visit to Citizens Bank Park this season. Manage your digital tickets, view game day info, and more. Visit the App Store to download this free app today.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
11:01, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. Anthony will return on August 1st. Coming up at 11:10, we will be doing morning thoughts. I teased it going into the break. I have some stuff based off of yesterday that I woke up thinking about. One involving the Swan Song season, and then the other, Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter kind of goes hand in hand with that. I'll explain more coming up in about 8 minutes now. And we'll get Tom's morning thoughts as well. But first, I want to get back to the phones at 610-632-0975. As we are discussing the rankings, the top 10 rankings that ESPN.com was put together with the different players at different position groups around the NFL. They did quarterbacks. They've done running backs. They've done wide receivers, tight ends, interior offensive linemen, offensive tackles, defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks, you name it. We know that Jalen Hurts is not in the top 10 for quarterbacks. We know that Miles Sanders is not in the top 10 for running backs. A.J. Brown, not in the top 10 for wide receivers, but an honorable mention. We'll see where Dallas Goedert is. We'll see where Jason Kelce is, where Lane Johnson is. But here's the thing. Even though these guys aren't in the top 10, group-wise, as Tom and I were discussing last segment, position group-wise, you can make a legitimate argument, a legitimate case that some of the groups on the Philadelphia Eagles should be in the top 5 around the NFL. Yes, do they have a top 10 wide receiver? No, they do not. But A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins, and Devontae Smith, you could make a case maybe a top 10, maybe even top 5 wide receiver group around the NFL, which is very exciting, which is why I'm fired up today as we are 1 week away from the beginning of Eagles training camp. Jeff McClain will join the show today at 11:40 to help preview. I'm excited to hear what he will be paying attention to, right? It's one thing for us to get excited when, guys like Jeff McClain and Jimmy Kempski and Zach Berman and other members of the Philadelphia media post the videos of, here's Jalen Hurts connecting with Devontae Smith. Here's Jalen Hurts connecting with A.J. Brown. That excites us. But we only see a couple of things here and there. The media, they're there, right? They're hanging out. They're really taking notes. And I wonder what Jeff McClain will be really paying attention to in training camp. It's a lot different than years past, right? Guys are running around in shorts. They're rarely wearing helmets. They're rarely wearing pads. But when you do have those moments, who has that explosive speed? Who has the explosive leaping ability to make a catch, a contested catch, both offensively and defensively? I'm excited to see what Jeff McClain will be paying attention to the most 1 week from today. Also, Philly bias. The anti-Philly bias. No one likes us, we don't care, is a bit of a lie. Because we do get offended constantly when somebody doesn't like us. Last night, Kyle Schwarber was arguably robbed of the first round home run derby against Albert Pujols. And look, it was against Albert Pujols. They probably wanted him to advance. But also there were people that didn't like how little love that Kyle Schwarber got. I think we should just embrace it at this point. I'm tired of ignoring it. I'm tired of trying to be overly nice to fix the past. No, they will constantly bring up the past. If they don't like Philadelphia, they will always dislike Philadelphia until they come to the city. But you know that there are people that are afraid to come to the city, so they never will, okay? So that's why, Tom, I say embrace it. Let's go to Sean in New Jersey. Sean, you're on The Fanatic. Yo, Sean.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, buddy, it's Charles, but no problem.
Oh, Charles, what's up, dude?
All right, I agree with you. I'm out here in Jersey, and I'm surrounded by a lot of Cowboy haters, and I don't let them. Anytime I embrace my team and say how good we doing, they want to come at me and talk crap. So I come right back at them. I don't let it slide, and I'm not taking no shorts, and I love my squad.
Yeah, see, Charles, that's why I respect you. I respect you because you know that those same Cowboy crumbs are going to talk about the amount of championship rings that they have. Dude, I am 28 years old. I don't actually remember seeing the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. That says something, man. My Birds won a couple of years ago.
Yes, and when they talk about the rings that they won, you know what I tell them? I said, you got the ring when it was silver. We in platinum status now.
Damn right, man. Damn right. And see, that's why I respect you. So you're not going to ignore it. You're not going to just be like, yeah, you're right. Like, and let me try to be nice. No, embrace it, man. Embrace that Philly hate. It's not going to change. Like, those Cowboys fans are never going to stop being the way that they are.
Yes. And let me tell you, we have a good shot to do a lot of damage this year as Eagle fans. Only thing that may hold us back that I hope that we get better at is those penalties. If we get rid of those penalties, because they stopped Jalen Hurts, and a lot of times when we was in a momentum drive down that field, Barnett doing some bonehead stuff, going offside, and pushing us back. If we can eliminate that, we got a good chance to hurt them and stick it to them.
Charles, do you have FanFest tickets yet?
No, I don't, and yes, I want them.
Do you imbibe in alcoholic beverages?
Listen, sir, I drink. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, Charles, can you and I have a beer at FanFest together? I love you.
Yes, I love you too.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Charles. We'll meet up. I need to have a beer with Charles.
He sounds like a great dude to have a beer with.
Sounds like an awesome dude. So, Vito, take care of my man. Get him a pair of FanFest tickets. FanFest, of course, coming Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 at Xfinity Live, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. You obviously have to be 21 and enter, which Charles and I will be, both above the age of 21 and enjoying that alcoholic beverage. Stay tuned to The Fanatic for updates on special guest events and all kinds of fun for the rest of that day. See, I love that, man. Now, I don't think you're a contentious guy. Neither am I, right? I'm usually I try to just avoid it, right? I do try to avoid any sort of beefs. But every once in a while, it's necessary.
Yeah,
now, if
absolutely.
you have a group of Cowboys fans bashing your beloved Philadelphia Eagles, Tom, you're not just going to let it slide and ignore it, are you?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what I was saying to you in select opportunities.
You can't select.
What I mean,
No,
I
you can't select.
No, like honestly.
Because here's the thing. You got to dive into the lifestyle, man. You can't just every once in a while be like.
Well, then I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing my dad and I'm seeing my uncles. If I'm diving into the lifestyle that much.
You know what? Okay. Your dad and uncles at least saw the Flyers win a Stanley Cup. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to be bullies again.
Yeah, we got to start just fighting people and stuff. Let's do it. Why not?
No. I want to love. I don't want to fight. That's the thing.
Well, now you're contradicting yourself.
No. I'm not saying fisticuffs. I'm saying bark right back.
Yes, barking's fine.
I'm not saying throw hands. I retired. Okay? I've retired. I've retired from the hand throwing. All right? Believe it or not, there was a time. I know a lot of people think like, he's a nice guy. Listen, there was a moment of where I reached maturity.
Moment of immaturity, if you will.
Yeah, really, this job helped a lot. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm glad to hear that.
I've told the story. I was damn near blacked out drunk when I applied to this internship.
I remember.
And I got a phone call a week later. You still interested in the internship? We're doing interviews next week. And I said, yes, I remember. I'll be there, Coach Camille. And it changed things for me.
That's
a
good.
lot. It was one of those, the door was creaked open, and I dove through it and took advantage. There was a time where it wasn't so great. All right?
Yes.
So, I'm not saying throw hands. I'm just saying don't ignore it. I don't want to just ignore it anymore, man. I want to fight back verbally.
Okay.
Freedom
fight
of speech,
back
damn it.
verbally. Are you starting the fight verbally? Because that is the old school way of doing things.
No.
Be fighting or starting the fight verbally, which I think we need to get away from a bit.
Okay.
That's
You think you think we start fights too much?
Back in the day, I think we did do that
Okay.
a little bit too much.
Okay.
Yes. Where, anytime you saw an opposing team's fan walking to the stadium, I think it's fine to bark at them and to, some cheerful, playful.
Your team stinks.
Yeah, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't need to be starting fights with a dude just because he's wearing a Commander's jersey.
Yes, I got you. Yeah, no,
that's what I see. I think we can do a little bit of both at the same time.
Well, that's the beauty of society evolving a little bit. I'm with you on that one. All right, let's do some morning thoughts, Tom.
Wake up, Philadelphia!
No! God, please, no! No!
Time now for Morning Thoughts.
Hey, lady! Shut up! Will you just shut your trap? Shut up! Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God!
Yo, cuz, what were you thinking about this morning?
Oh, I love that intro. It's just so perfect, Tom. It's absolutely
Gets better
perfect.
every time.
All right, so my morning thought today, part one is a thought, and part two is kind of more of like an experience because it was my turn to do the early wake up with Cooper today. So I was watching Sports Center trying to get some ideas for the show because we are obviously in the dead period, right? It's July 19th. There's not as much going on. I'm very excited for training camp, which is 1 week away. And then training camp will start, and I'll be like, all right, when's the season actually start? But yesterday was the home run derby. And forget for a second Kyle Schwarber potentially getting robbed. And, with Albert Pujols, of course, being the guy that he was going up against. So maybe there's a conspiracy that they tried getting Albert Pujols a little further in the home run derby. But yesterday, you were very adamant that Albert Pujols should not have been in the home run derby.
Correct.
Like, you were like,
still am.
This is terrible. He shouldn't be in it. I think it's kind of cool that they had Pujols in there. It's his final season in Major League Baseball. And it got me thinking this morning, after I watched, the highlights again this morning. Albert Pujols is in the swan song season, right? It's his final year in Major League Baseball. I think it is so cool that he's with St. Louis. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. I think it is awesome that the St. Louis Cardinals brought him back. It's cool that there's a universal DH this year.
And he's still
which
contributing,
helps.
yeah.
Yeah, he is. He hurt the Phillies the other day in that series. And again, I'll be honest, it was cool seeing Pujols hit a home run. Even though eventually the Phillies lost that game. It was cool. It was cool seeing him hit the home run. I still love, and I am still all giddy, and I get the warm and fuzzies during the swan song season. Except for Coach K, because he made it about himself too much. It was a bit much, right? Also, it's a cult there, those Duke basketball fans,
yes.
So it was a little over the top. But I thought it was awesome when Pujols was here in Philadelphia for his final series. Citizens Bank Park gave him the STL, the St. Louis from the out-of-town scoreboard. Ryan Howard signed it, St. Louis native. Thanks for everything, blah, blah, blah. I think it's really cool. I remember it really starting with Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera, more so I know there's always been swan song seasons, but for me, that was my childhood, and here are some of the legends of the game. I remember one team gave Mariano Rivera a throne out of broken bats. I thought that was really
awesome,
cool
yes.
because the amount of cutters. Derek Jeter had the swan song season. I thought it ended perfectly with him getting the game-winning single in a game that really didn't matter, but it was a walk-off single. And what a way to end his illustrious Hall of Fame first ballot career, Derek Jeter. As the years have gone on, I think more and more people are getting tired of the swan song season. You didn't like Pujols in the home run derby. Let's face it, he was only in the derby because it's his final year.
Correct.
Are you pro swan song season, or are you one of these people that are getting tired of it there are people that are like saying, oh my God, this is annoying. Just retire already. I do like it. I'll be completely honest with you.
I have no issues with it whatsoever. If you're an all-time great, I think you should get a swan song season because you're an all-time great. Albert Pujols, an all-time great.
Yes.
Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Kobe Bryant. I remember they were doing it for him a bunch.
Yeah.
And even Coach K to an extent. Like, I get people didn't like it because he did make it a little bit about himself and because it's Duke and people just hate Duke no matter what. But, like, Coach K is one of the greatest college coaches ever,
Yes,
if not the greatest college coach.
I think
He's
it's more
allowed
so.
to have one.
I think it was more the Duke fan base.
That's what it is.
Like,
yeah, it was just the
weird.
Duke aspect of it. But yeah, I have no issues with it whatsoever as long as you are an all-time great. Like, I kind of felt like with Ryan Zimmerman, they were doing it a little bit, the Washington Nationals, and I'm just like, yeah, he's an all-time great for the Nationals, but like no one else cares about Ryan Zimmerman. So there's certain situations where I feel like it shouldn't be done, but if you're an all-time great, I have no issues with you celebrating your career.
I think it's cool for Zimmerman, like you said, Nationals, because he was really the start of that franchise when they moved to DC, when they left Montreal.
But like, do other teams care about Ryan Zimmerman?
No, probably not. I hated Ryan Zimmerman because he killed the Phillies constantly. So yeah, to an extent, you're right. But if you're an all-time great, and I know there are a lot of people that are taking exception to the Albert Pujols thing, like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah,
but
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
Why? Why can't he enjoy his career and celebrate his career? I don't understand. I think people liked it at first when it first started happening, and then it was just the trendy thing to do to have the opposite opinion, and now everybody wants to have the opposite opinion. Oh, this sucks.
Right. And I
it
think
feels weird to me.
I think that's ridiculous. So I want to open the phone lines to this discussion at 610-632-0975. You know, obviously on Twitter, ASalTunis975, and Instagram and the YouTube chat. Send some tweets over to Tom and the Fanatic account. I want to know, like, are you pro or anti Swan Song season for the legends of the game? I think it's awesome. I think it should continue, and I want more and more of it. So if Pujols can compete in a home run derby, I want it.
See, that's too much, though.
Like when Steph Curry
didn't deserve it.
Is coming to an end, I want him in the three-point shooting contest. Even if he's having a bad year, I want him in it.
I feel like your ability to hit home runs goes before your ability to shoot a three-point shooter.
I get it, but if he's cooked and he's shooting
like
30%, I want him in the three-point shooting contest.
Okay. All right. I could be talked into that.
Okay. So that's number one, my morning thought. The other, because I just mentioned Derek Jeter as a Swan Song guy that he got. Last night was the beginning of the docu-series. So I'm fine with him having a docu-series. Anthony's against it. He kind of wishes there were other people before the docu-series. Are you pro Jeter docu-series?
I'm fine with it. I don't have any issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has a lot to live up to. I did not watch the episode yesterday. It was too late.
I fell asleep, yeah.
The Last Dance was awesome. It was incredible.
Yes.
All right. I also learned a lot because Jordan was before my time. A lot of Jordan, of course. I'm excited to see the Jeter one. It just has a lot to live up to. And I wonder if it's going to not live up to that, to that status of The Last Dance. But, dude, I'm watching SportsCenter this morning. And I get it. It's an ESPN production. But ESPN did the top 10 Derek Jeter plays of all time. They go to commercial break. They come back with, and here's another play from Derek Jeter. And I'm like, all right, listen. I know he's got that logo of the jump throw. I get he was Mr. Yankee for a long time. I understand it. I don't think he should have been unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot, yes. Unanimous, no. I think there were voters that were afraid not to vote for him, which is ridiculous when there are people that are so set in their ways to not vote for like Barry Bonds.
Things, yeah.
But like, I think there were people that were legitimately afraid to not vote for Derek Jeter because they didn't want to get the backlash.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
It's a bit much.
It feels a little overdone. Yes.
It does. And you know what? So he goes to Miami to be an executive. Oh, he's going to turn things around. No, he's not. And he didn't. He's out. So I don't know. I have a Derek Jeter discussion and regarding his docu-series because there are probably other people that deserve it more, and I'll open that up at 11:30. But I want to get, Tom, your morning thought today before we get out of here.
Yeah, so I was obviously watching the Derby last night. I would fall asleep with SportsCenter on. I wake up and I'm seeing some Derby highlights, and all I see is Pete Alonso, closing his eyes, super focused, lifting weights in between home runs or in between rounds. Last year he was dancing all over, and I'm like, man, as much as I want to hate this dude, I don't, and I don't know why. And I feel like I feel that way with a lot of players on rival teams. Like, I hate the Mets. I can't stand the Giants. Cowboys, I think it's a little different because that's the rivalry, not to you and to some of the younger fans out there. But for the most part, like, the Cowboys is the number one rivalry when it comes to Philadelphia sports. But other than that, like, the other teams, I hate the teams, but I can't think of any players I despise.
Yeah, like, I love Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I love Jaylen Brown a lot. Yeah, I mean, Sidney Crosby to an extent, but more just like, is there a Met that you absolutely can't stand? I love Jacob deGrom. I think deGrom's one of the best pitchers, like, ever.
I hate Edwin Diaz because every time there's a deep fly ball to the outfield, he points up as if it's going to get caught, and then it's a home run.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
But back, like, when we were younger, I feel like we hated a ton of play. Like, couldn't stand David Wright.
Well, I hated David Wright. I hated Paul LaDuca because he tried, mouthing off with J-Roll. Jose Reyes was an awful human being off the field, and I also didn't like him on the field. So Jose Reyes was like, there were a lot of those guys that you hated. That was also a heated rivalry. I don't hate DeGrom. I don't hate Scherzer.
I just think it's weird that, like, I can't stand any of these teams, but there's no real, like, set guys that I don't like.
I'll give you one that I absolutely hate.
Okay.
Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah, well, that's just because he runs around bases and
but he's also on the Mets. Like, if he does that, I know I don't want him here because of that.
Okay.
I would boo him every time he walked because he would run the first base. If he was on the Athletics, I'd laugh at him for doing the sprint down the first base. But because he's on the Mets, that is an automatic. You're now hated for it.
Yes, it is.
Pete Alonso, I thought I hated until I went to a Phillies game once, and he had a catch with a lot of kids.
Young kids, yeah.
Just Phillies and Mets jerseys. I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay.
And so, like, that kind of warms my heart a little bit because I think every athlete should do that.
Agreed.
There should not be a single baseball player in Major League Baseball that is too big for having a catch with a kid before a game. Like, what are you doing?
I agree. Totally agree.
I think that the guys that give their sneakers out at the end of basketball games, I think, is awesome because you're going to get a free pair the next game.
Yeah. Signing autographs, stuff like that. Yeah, it's just weird to me.
So Alonso, I thought I would hate. I do think it's ridiculous that he was doing the, like, come on, dude, it's the home run derby. Like, chill out. Like, what do you
like zoned in like that? Like, what are you doing? Just go hang out with all the other great baseball
And then he
players.
probably did a whole like, well, I'm super competitive. Shut up, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, go, like you said,
Take
go
it
hang
easy,
out.
buddy.
Go hang out with everybody. 610-632-0975. We'll continue that conversation as well. But first, I want to let you know, CSL Plasma, I absolutely love them there, right? Renee, her husband Brian, they are fantastic people. I was hanging out with them. It was around Memorial Day. We hung out right around my house at an event that was going on. Bobby was there as well. They're awesome people to hang out with. They also do great stuff for the community. First of all, they do great stuff for you because you can make money up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. So look at this. You get up to $825. That's awesome. That's money for you on a reloadable prepaid card, but it's also for doing a great deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. They need help, okay? Donation process, it's a lot like donating blood, but you also get a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done as a thank you for your time. You don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome at all tri-state area donation centers, including in North Philly, West Philly, Northeast Philly, Yeadon, Aramingo, Hamilton, and Maple Shade, New Jersey, and also Newark, Delaware. Saving lives has never been easier or more rewarding. Like, you feel good about yourself when you do it, right? You also get up to $825. That's pretty nice, too. When you donate plasma, you do the amazing. For location information and to learn more about the plasma donation process, just download the CSL Plasma app or visit CSLPlasma.com. That's CSLPlasma.com. And tell them Andrew sent you when you go. CSL Plasma. Good for you. Great for life.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber struggles in the Derby. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Bally's Atlantic City. The all-new Bally's Atlantic City introduces The Yard, a brand-new indoor-outdoor beer garden just steps from the boardwalk. Visit Bally'sAC.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber entered last night's home run derby with the second-best odds to take home the trophy, but could get nothing going as he was upset in round one by 42-year-old Albert Pujols 20-19. National star Juan Soto defeated Julio Rodriguez in the final and became the second youngest Derby winner ever. It was the first Derby final to feature two players aged 23 or younger. Schwarber looks to have some better fortune tonight as he is the only player representing the Phillies in the All-Star game. First pitch for tonight's game is at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just 1 game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot because of this. Tune in next as Jeff McClain joins the show at 11:40 to talk some Birds. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Malbord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
A civil authority has issued required monthly tests for the following counties or areas. New Jersey, at 10:50 a.m. on July 19th, 2022, effective until 12:50 p.m. The New Jersey Office of Emergency Management is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. Had this been an actual emergency, the attention signal you have just heard would have been followed by official information or instructions. This concludes the test of the emergency alert system.
It's the halfway point of baseball season. Hey, it's Jen Scordo. Turn big hits and dingers into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge before the Midsummer Classic. New customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Sign up using promo code SCORDO. Place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. The Home Run Derby is my favorite part of the All-Star game, and our own Kyle Schwarber will be at the plate knocking in home runs. It's pretty cool, too, that Pujols will be in it this year. Add a few bucks on your favorite home run hitter or to win the All-Star game. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up using promo code SCORDO to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Hoagie Fest. Today's the day. Follow your taste buds. They'll show you the way. Hoagie Fest is here. Na 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 na.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
There's an epic cookie battle happening right now at Wawa. Will it be Oreo cookies and cream frozen beverages? Or will you choose Chips Ahoy cream smoothies, milkshakes, and more? If you can't choose one, go for both in our limited time ultimate cookie mashup. Made with real pieces of Oreo and Chips Ahoy cookies. 2 legendary cookies, 1 epic frozen treat. Gotta have a Wawa.
It's John Kincaid. You know, there's only one thing I really need to be happy. That's keeping my wife happy. And that's why a beautiful backyard paradise at our new home from Landis Block and Concrete will do the job for me. Beautiful patios, an outdoor kitchen, a fire pit, a retaining wall, whatever we want. Landis Block is going to be my resource for outdoor living. You just need the imagination, the space, and a budget. So lean on them. Trust them. You're not going to have to worry about a thing. Check out the photo gallery at landisbc.com. That's landisbc.com, because Landis Block is going to create the Kincaids a jaw-dropping outdoor paradise.
Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers. They wrote the book on workers' compensation in Pennsylvania. Turn to the team you can trust. Visit paworkinjury.com. Located in Center City, Bristol, Malvern, Allentown, Reading, Sunbury, and Harrisburg. Our attorneys are ready to listen and get you the justice you deserve. When you or a loved one are hurt on the job, you deserve the best. paworkinjury.com. Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
With Philly Pretzel Factory, there are no wrong choices, but beware. Everyone loves pretzels, so be sure to get enough for the whole gang. No matter how big or small your celebration might be, there's a party tray for you. To find your nearest store, visit PhillyPretzelFactory.com and click Find a Store. Philly Pretzel Factory stores are ready and eager to serve you the hot, soft pretzel you've been longing for. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made. Find your store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com.
The sun is shining, the sky is blue, and the beach is calling your name. But before you go, find the perfect drink to fit your beach style at Fine Wine and Good Spirits. Is yours picnicking and pina coladas? Tunes and tropical cocktails? Collecting seashells and clinking cans? Bring together beach days and cold drinks. Stop in to save $2 on stateside canned cocktail variety packs and 750 milliliter bottles of Captain Morgan White Rum. Offers end July 31st, 2022. Please enjoy responsibly.
Man, I slept.
New ZQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good. Feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
Progressive presents Don't Do It Yourself.
Okay, simple enough. Just got to get in there with my screwdriver. Do you mind handing me my screwdriver?
Are you trying to say screwdriver?
Well, I mean, you're saying it weird, but yeah, sure.
Look, maybe we should bundle our home and auto with Progressive. We could save big and pay someone to install this for us so you don't have to pretend you can.
I know my way around a screwdriver. Oh, yeah. This is going to take a Philippe's head for sure.
Save when bundling home and auto with Progressive and use the money to, not do it yourself. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
It's John Kincaid. There's only one thing I really need to be happy. That's keeping my wife happy. And that's why a beautiful backyard paradise at our new home from Landis Block and Concrete will do the job for me. Beautiful patios, an outdoor kitchen, a fire pit, a retaining wall, whatever we want. Landis Block is going to be my resource for outdoor living. You just need the imagination, the space, and a budget. So lean on them. Trust them. You're not going to have to worry about a thing. Check out the photo gallery at landisbc.com. That's landisbc.com, because Landis Block is going to create the Kincaids a jaw-dropping outdoor paradise.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. Want to hear the Fanatic Best of Show Daily podcast? Head to 975thefanatic.com now and download each show every day. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
$11:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cubs until August 1st. 11 o'clock hour brought to us by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Coming up in 9 minutes, we'll be joined by Jeff McClain of the Philadelphia Inquirer, Inquirer.com, as we are 1 week away from the start of training camp for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I can't wait to hear what Jeff will be paying attention to the most during camp. And then I'm sure we will talk to Jeff, obviously, throughout the days of camp. I'm sure we will talk to him again next week after a couple of days have gone by to see what has been standing out. But I'm interested to see what Jeff will really be paying attention to during camp coming up next week. So that's coming up at 11:40. Get to the phones in a second at 610-632-0975, because I know Milton wants to talk about these Swan Song seasons. I mentioned that during Morning Thoughts that I'm all for it. I know there's a lot of hate for it. I know there's a lot of people that complain about it. I love it. I think it's great, and I want more and more of it, and I like they try to get these players now involved. I thought baseball, a sport that always does things wrong, right? I think Rob Manfred does everything wrong. I think it's cool that they're adding the legends to the All-Star game, and I do think that it was cool that Albert Pujols was in the home run derby last night, even if he only hit 2 home runs, right? Unless it's, sad, I think it's cool seeing Albert Pujols in the home run derby. I know you think the opposite, Tom, but he held his own, man. He got to the second round.
He did.
He got to the second round because he beat Kyle Schwarber, whether it was rigged or not. He did get there.
Unless Schwarber struggled big time last night. He could just get no groove going whatsoever.
Yeah, and the pitcher was awful.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
That was crazy.
The best is the comments if only Yours Familia was pitching to him.
Oh, yeah, dude. He probably would have hit 80 home runs. Now that you mention it.
It's a bad job by him.
Well, no, Familia's kind of wild, too.
But he does give up homers.
He gives up homers, but if he's not finding the zone,
then he's all over the place.
I
just always like those comments.
Before I get to Milton, so Derek Jeter, we talked about the docuseries started last night. I didn't watch it last night. I'll probably get to it at some point today. What other athlete? Because if this is another home run, like the Last Dance was, I don't think it'll reach that same status. I'm going into it with lower expectations. I went into the Last Dance high expectations, and they surpassed those expectations.
Yeah.
Right? It was great. This Jeter one, my expectations are lower, but we'll see if it's well done.
Have you watched real quick the Tom Brady one at all?
I haven't.
Because it's kind of weird because he's still playing.
That's why I haven't.
Yeah. I haven't either. I was just curious.
It's weird. So I know somebody who I got into was it called Bohemian Rhapsody? The Queen movie that came out?
Yes, it was.
So
good movie.
Was it 27 years or 37 years since Live Aid? It
83
went,
was
where
it?
Freddie Mercury had that incredible performance. And I started talking about the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. I was like, man, that was such a good movie. And I started thinking about the other music ones that came out. And I thought Rocket Man with Elton John was actually tremendous.
I didn't say it.
So somebody that I spoke to said, I won't watch it until he's dead.
That's odd.
And I was like, really?
It's kind of weird.
Because it doesn't, like...
So, because the hip-hop one that they made recently, Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
Not all those dudes are dead.
Not all
Dr.
those
Dre,
dudes are
Ice
dead.
Cube, they're
No.
still... And that was a really good movie.
Great
So,
movie.
you didn't watch that one either?
No, he did not.
That's odd to me.
So he's not going to watch Rocket Man until it's kind of like done with. And I was like, well, it's a great movie. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yes, agreed.
But I wonder if that's kind of the same thing with the Brady thing. Like, am I going to wait till he's done before I watch it?
I feel like you have to at least be done playing the sport.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to be dead.
Elton John's still performing. Should he just retire? Should that be what it should be?
But I feel like Elton John's musicians are so weird. They'll retire for 10 years and then come back and do it.
He just performed in Philly last week.
But that's different than like an athlete where like you can't retire and then come back 15 years later. Like
unless you're Brady or Favre.
Yeah, that's
Brett Favre might still come back.
But yeah, it's an interesting point actually.
So yeah, I mean, yes, the Brady thing I have not seen yet. Is there another athlete? I think Gretzky needs to be one.
It's a good one.
He's arguably the greatest athlete of all time.
His nickname is the Great One. So
I think Gretzky should be there.
To my first thought, Kobe. I think one needs to be done on Kobe, and might be a recency bias because he unfortunately passed away.
Well, that's the shame of it, right? If I'm being, listen, God rest his soul, right? I'm not trying to be harsh, but part of the draw of The Last Dance is Jordan was in it, right?
Yeah,
and Jeter is in it. Unfortunately, now I believe ESPN could do a great job where they get. I mean, there were so many Kobe Bryant press conferences, interviews, you name it. That's going to be a lot of work, that one, because you have to do a lot more digging as opposed to just having Kobe in it. Right?
But I think because he's such, you're correct, but I think because he's that big of a presence, that big of a star, it will take some work, but I think it can be done.
A lot of work.
It can be done very
It could be. And then obviously you have, his wife that would be a part of it, Pau Gasol would be a part. Like you can immediately, like Shaq, you can immediately think of everybody that would be in it immediately,
yes.
Right? But yeah, Gretzky comes to mind. Kobe's a good answer. If you want to send some in, Twitter, YouTube, and call in at 610-632-0975. I would love to get some more of those answers. Let's go to Milton in Newtown Square. Milton, you're on The Fanatic.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm so hyped to call in for the first time.
Oh, dude, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate that.
The only show I watch consistently that I never get bored of. That's amazing. You guys are the best. So I'll cover it too. I could go on forever. How about?
Dude, thanks, Tom. Milton, I appreciate it, Milton.
And I came in right away. I couldn't believe it. Usually I have to wait forever. You guys got me right away.
I took care of you, man. I got Jeff McClain coming up in a couple minutes. I didn't want to make you wait through Jeff.
I want to say that he's a man. I want to say that I agree with you because when Brady just abruptly retired on Instagram, I was like, I wanted to know that was the last one. I was on the edge of my seat as a broken Eagles fan. I mean, Philly fan in general, but I just wish they beat his ass in 17. But anyway,
right.
Big Ben's thing was so cool, and I even like the Steelers because they're the PA better versions of us when it comes to Super Bowls. But I thought it was so cool that he did the whole lap around and got to watch and everything, and I feel like Drew Brees should have done something like that too. Instead of just look behind, that's it. And you're like, well, is he coming back? And then I think it should be like that because I hate the GOATs because they're usually not on our team. So when they get that final goodbye. I don't have to worry about you kicking my ass next year.
And but here's the thing: like the people that don't like the Swan Song season, you have to understand. Like a lot of people, I know Devon Givens. Devon Givens went to the Eagles-Buccaneers game this year just so that he could say the regular season game, just so he could say, he saw Brady in person.
Right.
Like so, people do that. So. I feel like there are people that don't like the Swan Song season, and yet they'll buy a ticket to go to the last game in their city.
Even if they're hating on it, they're like, I just want to see greatness.
Right. Like, I was bummed out, I'll be honest, that I did not go to that game that night.
Yeah, I definitely didn't go.
Yeah. Now, Milton, you're a first-time caller. Anthony always loves doing this for the first-time callers. I want to do it as well.
I can't wait to talk to him. He's coming back on my birthday, August 1st.
Oh, well, it's going to be a great birthday. Now, would you also like FanFest tickets as an early birthday present?
Oh, that'd be so awesome. I'm so going to be there. Meet all you guys.
All right, Milton. I can't wait to meet you, man. I'll put you on hold. We'll take care of you. Thanks for the call, man. FanFest, of course, coming up on October 1st. But now let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline. Of course, Comcast Business, every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. Can't wait because football season means that we get to talk to this man every Tuesday. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I think he does a tremendous job for the Philadelphia Inquirer, Inquirer.com. I don't really have the luxury of talking to him for the time when he's on because Anthony is the one that's, having the conversation, but I always get that like minute before I put him on hold to pick his brain a little bit. But now with Anthony out for the next couple of weeks, I get to go to him myself. And of course, that is the great Jeff McClain. Jeff, how are you today?
Hey, what's up, Andrew? How you doing?
It's another beautiful day. I can't wait. We are 1 week away from training camp. I sound like a hypocrite because I'm one of these guys that goes, just get me to the regular season because I think, guys are in shorts. Preseason games aren't the same as they used to be. But there's a different vibe with this team this year, man. It's some of the most exciting weeks leading up to a season, months leading up to a season that I've felt since maybe year 1 and 2 of Chip Kelly?
Well, I would think that maybe after when they won the Super Bowl, there was a lot of excitement.
Yeah, but I thought there was a lot of people that were kind of like, whatever happens, I don't care because they won, so I'm happy.
Typical Philly. And even on this team, how many times have we heard, this is the off season that they upgraded the team, et cetera, and then all of a sudden the season starts and it doesn't quite pan out that way. I certainly feel like they've made some upgrades, and on paper it looks like they improved the defense, and certainly adding A.J. Brown improves the offense to some extent. But, that's on paper, and we have to see how it plays out once the season starts as well.
So on paper, we've been going through this the last couple of weeks, and now that they've finished it, ESPN.com, Jeremy Fowler does every year he speaks to the executives and coaches and scouts around the league to sort of rank the top 10 players at each position group. And I've been going through it before it got to you. Eagles offensive line obviously has a bit of an impact there. Lane Johnson's in the top 10. Jason Kelsey is in the top 10. Dallas Goedert is in the top 10 of tight ends. But then when you look at some of the other skill positions, A.J. Brown is an honorable mention. Miles Sanders received votes, and then Jalen Hurts isn't even mentioned. But on paper, the Eagles have a bit of a good statement, especially offensively. I know Hurts is still going to have a lot of question marks. I know Hurts is going to be criticized a lot this year. I will be critical of Jalen Hurts this year. But I'm a little bit more excitement for the offense this year than I was last year. You can tell on paper they are definitely more talented, right?
Well, the only real major addition they added was A.J. Brown, but it was a significant need, the wide receiver position. You needed someone to play, someone at a certain level to play opposite Devontae Smith. I think Quez Watkins had a nice sophomore season, and he'll probably remain almost exclusively in the slot, but you needed a power guy on the outside, and I think with acquiring A.J. Brown, you certainly do that. The offensive line, as we saw last year, is probably the strength of the team overall. And you have Jordan Mailata 1 year under his belt as a full-time starter. So you imagine at his age he should be improving. Lane Johnson came back after his brief hiatus to address his mental health issues and was playing probably some of the finest football of his career. Jason Kelsey is still playing at a Hall of Fame caliber level. you like where Landon Dickerson stands, and you have Jack Driscoll and Isaac Seumalo battling out the other spot. And you have a lot of depth there, as they showed last year when the Eagles certainly had a number of guys that were injured. So I think the offense, yes, in terms of personnel, it's good. You mentioned Miles Sanders. You have Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott to add at that running back position. That being said, schematically and with the quarterback, you have to wonder, is this a top-tier offense overall? I don't think we're quite at that point. In terms of how they ran the ball, you could say that, and that certainly got them back on track last second half of last season. That was a pretty favorable draw that they had in terms of their schedule. When they got to the playoffs, Buccaneers showed what defenses can do based off of. So they need to have an elite passing attack if they're going to be a sustainable team for him. And a lot of that falls on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts, but also falls on the shoulders of Nick Sirianni and what he can do in terms of a offensive play caller.
Now, on the defensive side of the ball, you said on paper it looks like they got a little bit better. I can make the case that really the only hole on this team where I go, all right, I'm legitimately concerned is the safety position. I know they brought in Tart. I'm not really the biggest Marcus Epps fan. I think Anthony Harris may have lost a step. We saw that a bit last year. But the improvements that they did make at the linebacker position, they obviously still have all kinds of depth on the defensive line. Where do you think their strength is, and is safety really the only glaring weakness on this team?
Well, typically the defensive line has been the strength of an Eagles defense. And while they performed fairly well last year, I think there wasn't enough pressure. And I think they were clearly admitted that when they went out and acquired Hassan Reddick, when they drafted Jordan Davis in the first round of last draft. They knew that they needed to get more quality guys off the edge, and they needed to get a little more beef up front, especially with Fletcher Cox aging, nearing the point of the end of his career, and certainly as well as he played last year. Javon Hargrave is in the last year of his contract. So I still feel like it's a defensive front that remains a strength for them. Cornerback, getting Bradbury was certainly, I think, a good move for them based upon how he plays and the fact that they favor Jonathan Gannon favors zone-based coverages. And then linebacker. I mean, that was probably the first time in a long time that, in drafting Nakobe Dean and getting Kaiser White, that they made two, I would say, upgrade additions to that position. But again, you got to go out there and prove it on the field, and you have to see how the chemistry fits, and you have to wonder how Gannon is going to do in his second season. I felt like, there was a lot of criticism directed towards him. Some of that was valid. But I don't know if they had the personnel to play his scheme the way he wanted to. And that was certainly an area that they wanted to address this offseason, and it seems as if they did.
Now, it's great that you mentioned Gannon. That was my next question. So I am one of those people that was critical of Jonathan Gannon. I also recognize that the talent wasn't there. But I just thought there were times where he made adjustments too late, or, I think the game plan just going into the game was wrong. But then again, it was his first time as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. So like how I'm giving Jalen Hurts an entire season before I make a determination, I'm going to try to do the same with Jonathan Gannon. What is it like heading into year two for Gannon? Because there's been talks right before he even coached a game as a DC that he's going to be head coach in the NFL soon. What's kind of like, is there going to be a little extra spotlight on Gannon maybe within NovaCare this season?
Well, right. Just because he would make perhaps a good head coach doesn't mean necessarily that means he's this great defensive mind. I know that may sound awkward saying that, but I think Jonathan Gannon has a lot of the characteristics NFL owners are looking in NFL coaches nowadays. That being said, he's got to go out there and show that he has an astute football mind. And based upon, like you said, last season, I questioned this too. I thought there were times where he was too late to get to things. I felt like some of the schematic call designs and some of the calls were questionable. The coverages weren't very sophisticated. There wasn't a lot of pre-snap disguise, and I think that you saw top-tier quarterbacks pick them apart. I mean, at one point, at one stretch, I mean, in certain games, I guess against certain quarterbacks, the completion percentage was ridiculous.
Yeah, Herbert was in the 80s.
Not only him, but a lot of guys were just above 70 and 75.
Okay.
Now, that's going to happen against top quarterbacks, but that being said, you have to prove it against those types of quarterbacks. And while they're not facing as many of those types of guys this coming season, you're going to see them, and you're going to still see good offenses. And Jonathan Gannon is going to have to show something here. Certainly, I don't think there was any concern about him not coming back in terms of in terms of Nick Sirianni cutting ties with him. I think they're happy with Jonathan Gannon. But that being said, Nick was willing to at times challenge Jonathan and his calls and say, hey, we need our guys to challenge more at the line of scrimmage and to play more aggressive. So we'll see how that pans out. I think he does have some bodies in that defense, and certainly Jordan Davis. You have like a legitimate nose tackle. They didn't really have that last year. And what that does is it allows Fletcher Cox, allows Devon Hargrave not to line up over center and to play, to his side and have a little more opportunities to play off of him and what he can do against the run offenses.
Now, last one for me, Jeff, before I let you go, and I appreciate you coming on and always coming on with Anthony. We really appreciate it. We love your work. Next week is the start of training camp. Now, last year, a lot of people wanted to focus on how is Nick Sirianni going to run a camp, right? Like, is it going to be loose? Is it going to be tough? Is he going to be hands-on, which we found out that he was. What are some of the things, a couple of things that you're really going to be paying attention to a lot during camp this year as we get ready for another Eagles season?
Well, from what I can gather, and we noticed this as camp went on, and certainly the preseason was. I mean, they're not going to push these guys in terms of physical contact practices. It's just not going to be the way it is. They're going to have walkthroughs sprinkled in there in terms of how they conduct camp early on. They're going to wear pads only here and there. When it comes to the preseason, they're not going to play a lot of their starters. They're going to use these joint practices. Now they have 2 weeks set up, one at the Browns, one at the Dolphins, to get what they hope to be enough of a look at the starters in terms of playing at more of a speed that you'd like to see them play at before the start of the season. But it's not going to be the training camps and preseasons of old. And I think we've come to expect that, and I think it may be even less than what we saw last season. And then in terms of, there's not many position battles. Typically, that's something you always talk about heading into training camps. But, aside from maybe safety, some of the depth positions in terms of the defensive line, backup spots, there really aren't jobs, quote unquote, up for grabs. And of course, you're going to want to see how Jalen Hurts is doing here in this, second season. As we've heard about this many times, he hasn't played in the same offense in back-to-back seasons since like high school. So you'd like to see him come into camp and produce and show that he, with that 1 year under his belt, can come in and not look sluggish. He's never really been, from as far as I can tell, a great practice player. But you don't want to see, quote-unquote, back-to-back practices that he struggles at this point in his career.
Any chance Eagles get Jesse Bates? I can't let you go without asking that.
My guess would probably be no.
Okay.
But, you never rule out anything, especially with Howie.
Especially with
trades in August. He's done it before. He's definitely brought in some high-impact guys, or at least guys that they thought they'd be high-impact. I recall Ronald Darby right before the 2017 season for Jordan Matthews. So he's done it before, and he's not afraid to pull the trigger, as we all know.
All right, follow him on Twitter, @Jeff_McClain. Jeff, I appreciate it, man, and we're looking forward to talking to you throughout the football season again for another year.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jeff. There he is, Jeff McClain, Philadelphia Inquirer, Inquirer.com. I think that man just does a tremendous job with this coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles, which is why we have him on weekly. I know there are people that are critical of Jeff, but I think Jeff does a great job, and we love having him on, so can't wait to continue to have that throughout the football season. 610-632-0975. That is the number to climb in. We still have a lot in store for you today. I know it seems like I've been throwing a lot at you, but we have more. Trust me. We've been talking a lot about the Eagles, obviously, today. Have some more about the Philly nobody likes us, we don't care kind of deal. I think we should just embrace it. Swan Song Seasons, the Derek Jeter docuseries, you name it. And also later on today, we should be speaking to Jim Salisbury as we get closer to the MLB trade deadline. But first, let me congratulate my friends over at Family and Company Jewelers in Marlton, New Jersey. I'm so happy for them, so excited for them because they were awarded something that they absolutely deserve. They were just named South Jersey Magazine's best bridal jewelry store for 2022, which is just so cool because I love those people at Family Company Jewelers. They have been a part of my life a lot over the last couple of years. Engagement ring, wedding bands. I'm wearing mine, obviously, right now. We've got an anniversary gift there. And, of course, this past May, we did Mother's Day gift. So Family Company Jewelers has been my spot to go for all these incredible events, but the number one bridal jewelry store for 2022, according to South Jersey Magazines, well, also according to me, because if you're looking to get engaged, Family and Company is the only place to go. I did go to a couple places beforehand, got to Family Company Jewelers, and I was wowed by the service, the selection. My man Angelo, he took care of me. I suggest that you go to Family Company Jewelers. Visit their showroom on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, online at familyjewelers.com. Make sure you tell them Andrew sent you when you go. They'll take care of you like they take care of me. Trust me, I've sent a couple people over there that didn't even do the whole Andrew sent me thing, and they were given such great service. So make sure you check them out. Family Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto wins the Derby. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Wawa Hoagie Fest. Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Yes, 23-year-old division rival Juan Soto became the second youngest Derby champion ever as he defeated Mariners rookie Julio Rodriguez in the final. Soto took home the crown despite hitting 29 less homers than Rodriguez did. Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber was upset in the first round by 42-year-old Albert Pujols as he hit just 19 total homers to Pujols' 20. Rounding out the All-Star break festivities is the 92nd MLB All-Star game that begins tonight at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. Second-year Ray Shane McClanahan will be facing off against hometown legend Clayton Kershaw to begin the game. Schwarber is the lone Philly participating. And we're officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday, releasing 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just one game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Ricky Bo for Guided Door and Window. The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again, to keep your home cooling more efficiently and help save you on high energy bills. I suggest you go Guida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guided Door and Window. Right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple-pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and to pay it off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guide it today. Take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's GoGuida.com.
Riot Games continues to level up their esports as the company announced Michael Sherman to be the global head of esports for Legends of Runeterra, Teamfight Tactics, and upcoming fighting game Project L. This announcement is interesting since the esports scene for the first 2 titles have been relatively non-existent. Project L, on the other hand, could completely change the face of fighting game esports, and it's exciting to see focus on the esports development before the game is even out.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
I'll ring you up in a second. Kim, can you see if we have more acid wash?
Desmona's thrift store is the spot for killer vintage finds.
Oh, that looks fabulous on you. Hey, can you do the register?
But her sales clerk situation feels pretty threadbare.
Oh, yeah, let me clear out that fitting room.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're a small business
knows there are lots of choices when it comes to your internet and technology needs. But when you choose Comcast Business Internet, you choose the largest, fastest, reliable network. You choose advanced security for total peace of mind. And you choose fiber solutions with speeds up to 10 gigs available to more small businesses than any other provider. That's virtually everywhere we serve. The choice is clear. Get unbeatable business solutions from the most innovative company. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For over 35 years, Health Partners Plans has been proudly caring for people in the community. Our nationally recognized Medicaid plan offers a growing network of doctors and hospitals so you can get care close to home. Health Partners can help you get the care you need, including doctor and hospital visits, prescriptions, immunizations, eye and dental care, and more. To learn more, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit hpplans.com. Health Partners, trusted care where and when you need it.
To you, my love, my heart I surrender just as soon as I deal with yonder fender bender. Cause my ice cream truck is the way I make cash. So I'll buy you a ring when I lose this stress rash.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but at least Progressive Commercial saves you money with personalized discounts. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm gonna make you so happy. Sometime next year, I hope.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done. With 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Montgomery County is a mecca for golf fans. Book a golf getaway weekend. Play at one of Montco's 50 beautiful courses. Stay overnight in one of the 80 area hotels. Visit award-winning breweries, wineries, distilleries, and you can enjoy world-class shopping at the King of Prussia Mall, Suburban Square, or the Philadelphia Premium Outlets. To learn more about golf and the many adventures awaiting you in Montgomery County, go to visitvalleyforge.org or check out the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour page at 97.5thefanatic.com/golf tour. It's all presented by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
12 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz until August 1st. August 1st, he will return. He's taking the extended vacation as we get closer to football season. Like I said, I'm fired up. Next week is the first day of training camp. I'm surprised Anthony won't be here, at least for that show. I'm surprised he doesn't decide to just drive in real quick for next Tuesday.
Maybe he'll just call in for the full 4 hours.
Maybe. Because that's a day for him where he goes completely crazy in a good way.
Yeah, he's been waiting for this since the season ended.
I mean, he's been pushing, before he took his time off, it was football every day.
Oh, yeah.
With a mix into the Phillies, obviously, but it was football every single day. And so I'm surprised. I'm surprised he doesn't, just drive in real quick, and just be like, hey, I'm going to do the show today and then go back out. But no, he's not going to do that. Two $50 Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards I have. As I mentioned earlier today, Buffalo Wild Wings dropped off some incredible food today. They have specials on food from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. They have great deals on drinks all day. valid at participating locations while supplies last, dine in only. Tuesday nights, Buffalo Wild Wings has buy one, get one half off traditional wings. Stop by today. We're going to get into a little bit of a wing discussion in a couple of minutes, but I'm going to do two different ways of getting you a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. One, I'm going to involve my Instagram account like I did the other day. I gave the keyword during one of the commercial breaks. I had people check in on the Instagram Live, so I'm going to do something like that later on today in the 1 o'clock hour. But for the rest of the show, I'm going to have one up for grabs, and we'll put people in the running for your chance to win the $50 gift card. So all you have to do is call in at 610-632-0975 and get into the different conversations that we have going on today. We're talking about where some of the Eagles players rank throughout the NFL. I just gave a few players during that interview with Jeff McClain, so we'll get into the offensive line coming up. But it's something that ESPN put out beginning last week. Jalen Hurts was not obviously in the top 10. He wasn't even in the top 15, according to honorable mentions. Miles Sanders received votes for running backs. A.J. Brown was an honorable mention. Earlier today, we went through the cornerbacks. Darius Slay not in the top 10, but the second honorable mention, so you can say they consider him as a top 12 cornerback in the NFL. And this isn't Jeremy Fowler. This isn't ESPN. This is league coaches, scouts, and executives. So what I want to kind of figure out today when we go through these lists, whether or not we overrate or underrate some of the players. And Miles Sanders I use as the perfect example. From the way I look at it, I feel like we do overrate Miles Sanders a little bit. It's a mystery to me that he didn't score a single touchdown last year, right? The guy is supposed to have this explosive stuff. Never broke one for a touchdown. Now, I get it. Jalen Hurts scores touchdowns with his legs sometimes. But it is kind of a mystery to me that Miles Sanders did not get into the end zone at all last season. But the coaches and scouts and executives in these lists did vote for him, where I would not have. So there are people that actually work in the NFL that think higher of Miles Sanders than I do. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And go, all right, these guys obviously know a lot more than I do. They actually coach. They actually scout. They actually pick these teams. If they think highly of Miles Sanders, then I kind of got to give him the nod for that. So let's see whether we overrate or underrate some of our players. And also the other thing that we should have some fun with today. And Tom, if you can get the poll up so we can just update everybody on it, the Marvin E. Cans poll of the day. Yesterday, Kyle Schwarber was robbed of his first-round victory of the Home Run Derby, losing to Albert Pujols by a home run. But it wasn't just the Schwarber getting robbed thing. A lot of people thought that Albert Pujols was getting so much love and Kyle Schwarber wasn't getting any, which is an automatic shot at Philadelphia for people. To me, I want to embrace it. I want to embrace the hate that Philadelphia gets because I'll say it again, when the Philadelphia 76ers win the NBA championship, it's going to be hated nationally. Stephen A. Smith, right? All those people that hate the process. They hate Daryl Morey. They hate Joel Embiid. They hate James Harden. You name it. Everybody hates the Sixers. It's going to be amazing when the Sixers win the championship, not just for our fandom, because next year will be the 40-year anniversary of the Sixers last winning a title. It's also been 20 years since they made it out of the second round of the playoffs. But it's going to be so cool when the people that hate Philadelphia have to pretend like, when ESPN's we're here at the Warriors championship parade. They love going to the Warriors championship parade. They're going to hate coming to Philadelphia. They might avoid it. So I want to embrace it. Tom, what is the poll today on the station's account?
Yes, only official 97.5 The Fanatic Twitter account. People seem to take exception with what happened to Kyle Schwarber last night. Whether he was robbed or not, it felt like there was an anti-Philly bias during the Derby. How should we handle the anti-Philly bias from now on? Ignore it, still winning at 52%. Embrace it at 34%. And fix it at 14%.
I'm Mr. Embrace It, man. You kind of embrace it, but you also ignore it. I'm Mr. Embrace It, man.
Yeah, I embrace it in certain situations, but more so ignoring it. That's my point.
Because here's the thing, the more and more you ignore it, it's still going to happen. That's
going to happen if you embrace it, too.
It's not going to change, though, man. It's not going to change. David checks in. Just ignore it. It's not just Philly who gets robbed of things. Have a backbone. Listen, we get robbed of things. We do. And it's not backbone. Listen, how about a little toughness? Fight back. Kenneth Andrews says just to continue to bitch and complain. So that should have been another option, I guess. Just to continue to bitch and complain.
To just do nothing.
I don't think anybody actually would vote for that one, but somebody does believe it that way. But I want to embrace it, man. I really do. So a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings up for grabs for the remainder of the way at 610-632-0975. I look at our YouTube chat. One of the other things we've been talking about is the docuseries that you would like to see. And Mr. Snuffy, our sports god, tell me that the Sixers win the championship, please. He says that he would make millions off of a Jim Eisenreich documentary. Joseph Sokolowski says that Dykstra would be a good one. I don't know if I need Dykstra.
Yeah,
I really don't. I think Dykstra puts himself out there enough that we know what his lifestyle is. I think he's still on the streak of not getting arrested. So
that's good.
Good for you,
him,
Lenny.
Yeah.
Way to stay out of trouble. But some of those other ones, Tom mentioned Kobe Bryant. I mentioned Wayne Gretzky, especially because of how long it's been now. That's another thing for me. Jeter, it's still a little too close for me. It's been a long time since Gretzky's been in the NHL.
It has.
And I would like to look. I don't remember really watching him play. You know what I mean? I would like more of that.
And to hear some of the people that actually played against him, and to hear some of the stats,
take away all his goals, he's still the all-time point leader in the NHL.
On the afternoon show, on the interim afternoon show at the time, we did our top 5 list for MLB, NHL, NFL, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we were reading some of the Gretzky stats, man. They are insane. So I think a documentary on someone who is literally nicknamed the Great One should probably have been made already and should be made in the near future.
And, ESPN is trying to kind of get back into the good graces of hockey.
Yes.
So maybe now would be a good time to do it. Jeter played until 2014, right? Gretzky hasn't played since 99. 98, 99 was his final season.
Long time.
I think that's deserving. I wasn't breaking down Gretzky film when I was five years old.
Bad job by you.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely not a hockey guy because of that. A lot of people actually check in with some WWE ones that would be kind of cool, and I think so. That would be awesome. What did they do? Didn't they do a 30 for 30 recently on Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I don't remember.
Or no, he came back to
yeah, he's back. Was it?
I think they may have done something.
Was it Ric Flair or something that they did something on?
Maybe something like that would be kind of cool. I know a lot of people would like that.
How about some of the interesting careers, more so than the great careers, like a Calvin Johnson or a Barry Sanders, because their peak was so high, and that's why part of the reasons why they're in the Hall of Fame. Calvin Johnson's in the Hall of Fame, right? He made it recently.
I think he's
regardless.
In Hall of Fame, 5 years, so yeah, he'd be in it.
Hall of Fame type players, but then just the way it ended, especially with Calvin Johnson, how they're just I'm out, I'm done with this at this point. I think there could be some interesting all-time great players.
Yeah, and the beauty of these docuseries is the people that had imagine the amount of cornerbacks you can have on the docuseries talking about having to try and D up Calvin Johnson.
I mean, you see the pictures on Twitter with 3 guys defending him in the red zone.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Cool. A couple people, my man Ray Dunn, can't wait to see you more and more. Sean, where else? Somebody else said it. One on Tiger Woods. That will come.
Yeah, eventually.
That's going to come. Not yet, but Tiger Woods, they're a lock that Tiger Woods is one because also interesting career. Between the injuries, between what happened with his wife, I mean, there's a lot with Tiger Woods that would make for it. Now, what I'm curious to see with the Derek Jeter one is it just a fluff piece?
Probably. ESPN, probably.
But Michael Jordan wasn't just a fluff piece. Michael Jordan, there's curse words, right? Like he got angry at times.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe because. That's tough. I feel like it depends on how much say these guys have. How much say does Jeter have in this documentary?
Yeah, he probably doesn't want stuff out.
Exactly.
There. The girlfriend stuff.
Yeah.
And the gift basket.
Which, if they're making a documentary and he's, I guess allowing him to do so and he's having interviews throughout it and stuff, he's going to be like, hey, I don't want this out there, where maybe Michael Jordan either didn't know or was more okay with stuff
the beauty
said.
of The Last Dance was there was the scenes with Isaiah.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was angry. Scottie Pippen got angry at times about things like that kind of stuff.
Because it's cool to see both sides instead of just the fluff piece. point of view.
And I feel like, again, I didn't even watch the first episode of Derek Jeter's, but I feel like it's going to be more fluff.
Agreed.
Like, I just get that sense.
Because he's like the golden boy, Derek Jeter, when it comes to the national media in New York specifically.
Right.
Can do no wrong.
Can do no wrong.
So why would they want to talk bad about him?
So I'll be curious to see more and more of that. But, guys like you said, more interesting careers. Like, I would be, does Iverson get the draw nationally?
I would think so, because he's like a larger-than-life kind of personality, and he was so relatable because of his size.
The size, obviously, he's part of the reason why they changed dress codes and all that kind of stuff, the league mandate. So I think Iverson would be a good one. And, again, he's a star in an era where a lot of people love players, where you can get a lot of great players to be a part of that docuseries. That's something that you also have to think about. Like, who are the other people in it?
Yes.
Like, the beauty of The Last Dance was there was a lot of other good characters. Like, Dennis Rodman was awesome in that show.
Like, I would like to say, and I haven't seen the Derek Jeter one yet, and who knows what's going to happen, but like Alex Rodriguez, I'm sure doesn't have the greatest of things to say about Derek Jeter potentially. So I would love to hear him, like, unfiltered saying what he actually wants to say.
He won't.
And he won't. And I know
now that he's on ESPN, he's Mr. Nice buddies with everyone.
But that'd be cool to hear, like, how bad was it really when he first got over there and towards the end. Because, like, let's face it, A-Rod probably should have been playing shortstop at that point. He was probably the better shortstop at that point in their careers, but it's Derek Jeter's spot, so he had to move to third.
It's the captain.
Yeah.
Number 2. Can't move on from him. So we're having some fun with that as well. 610-632-0975. Interior offensive lineman. I have the top 10 list here, Tom.
I'm ready.
Number 1, I get it. This isn't as sexy, but, let's face it. The offensive line is a big part of the Philadelphia Eagles. Quentin Nelson of the Colts, number 1.
No issues.
Zach Martin, Cowboys, number 2. The dude is very talented. Brandon Sheriff is now with Jacksonville. He is number 3. Joe, is it Thuney or Tooney? My apologies.
I think it's Tooney.
Tooney of the Kansas City Chiefs. Joel Bitonio of the Browns at number 5. Like, these are kind of hard to debate, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get to is, yes, Jason Kelsey's on the list. Ryan Jensen, number 6, the center for the Buccaneers. Elgton Jenkins of the Packers at number 7. And then Jason Kelsey, number 8. Should Kelsey be higher? Probably.
Maybe it's the age aspect of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he's
at
been
least
contemplating retirement.
But at least he's top 10. So they have last year's rankings on it. Last year he was an honorable mention. So he's climbed into the top 10 this year.
Really?
Yes.
I guess because the year before that, the Eagles' offensive line was just dreadful, but it wasn't his fault.
He was a stud last year. In his little blurb, his 72.2% run block win rate, 4th overall at the center position, and 95.7% pass block win rate was 7th at the center position. He was attributed to just 1 sack against him in 17 games. An NFC player personnel director said, quote, he plays with anger, which serves his supreme athleticism well. Couple that with good coaching in the system there in Philadelphia, and he's able to prolong his career.
All this while working a second job bartending in Seattle.
Yeah. Exactly.
Guy's unbelievable.
To round out the list, Wyatt Teller of the Browns, number 9. So they have 2 guards. Both are starting guards in the top 10. That says something to me when Baker Mayfield was literally killed last year pretty much on the field. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Corey Linsley, the center of the Chargers. Yeah, that's kind of weird to me. Baker Mayfield was not protected last year, and there's 2 guards in the top 10.
Yeah, a little odd.
Interesting.
People are very excited about the Browns.
Honorable mentions, Ryan Kelly, center of the Colts. Creed Humphrey, center of the Chiefs. Frank Ragnow, center of the Lions. Laken Tomlinson, guard of the Jets. Eric McCoy, center of the Saints. And Elijah Vera Tucker, who I really liked coming out of college. He's the guard of the New York Jets. I thought the Jets have actually put together the last couple of good drafts. That's a Joe Douglas special. So not the sexiest position to go through, but I just wanted to make the point that Jason Kelsey is in the top 10 and Lane Johnson is in the top 10 of offensive tackles. Let me just see real quick without having to go through every name. I want to see if Jordan Mailata at least got an honorable mention because he was fantastic last year.
I believe he should have.
Yes. So Jordan Mailata, 3rd in the honorable mentions, but behind Orlando Brown and Penei Sewell. Sewell of the Lions. So Jordan Mailata, the third honorable mention, so you can make the case that he's the 13th best tackle, so both left and right side.
Combined.
So that's good. So look, that's why you and I were saying, even though the Eagles might not have an elite player at every position on the football field, they have elite groups. And the offensive line is elite. So even though Jalen Hurts, I have questions of, Jalen Hurts has such a great offensive line in front of him that he does not have to do too much. Couple his athleticism. When I did the pros and cons last week, sometimes he drops his head a little too early, but he's also very elusive, right? So the offensive line gets a lot of credit for the lack of sacks they gave up last year. There were times where defenses should have gotten a sack, and Hurts escaped that.
Sure.
It's a perfect marriage. That offensive line and his ability to move around in the pocket. And now with the amount of skill at wide receiver, even though Devontae Smith wasn't an honorable mention or received votes, Quez Watkins the same, you have an honorable mention in A.J. Brown. That skill at the offensive skill group, the overall wide receiver core, which could be a top 10, top 5 wide receiver core throughout the NFL. You couple all that together, and Dallas Goedert, I'll get to tight ends coming up on the other side. Dude, Jalen Hurts' job is pretty easy this year. Just make a couple of key throws. It's always difficult to be a quarterback in the NFL. I'm not gonna say that his job's easy. But man, he has a lot of help around him.
He does.
He has a lot of help around him, and if he improves his game marginally, I'm not saying jump into the top 5. You improve your game marginally with that skill around you, with that incredible offensive line in front of you. That 17 to 21 range that we had last week, he could jump into the top 15. He could. If he improves his game marginally, he can jump into the top 15.
And listen, putting all this talent around him not only helps him on the field, obviously, if you have more pieces, more weapons out there, it helps you, but I think it helps him a little bit mentally as well, where, hey, I don't have to do everything all by myself. I don't have to escape the pocket early because the pocket's collapsing, because nobody's open downfield. I think it'll help his mindset of just hey, I can kind of just go through the motions, do my thing, and not have to worry about 100 different things at once, which you're doing anyway as a quarterback, but
yes.
Kind of eases your mind a little bit knowing there's so much help around you at the quarterback position.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll see. I think he can make a slight jump. I just don't know if he's going to maybe be able to make that jump to top 12 status, and that's why you might need to make a change after the season. But I think he can make marginal improvements where all of a sudden this offense is moving at a better pace than it was last year. 610-632-0975. That is the number to climb in. Again, a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings up for grabs. You call in, have one of these discussions with us, and we'll give it away to the best caller at the end of the show. Also, another great idea. It's a tough one, but a great one from, I don't know if it's Chol or Cole Souders, Chol. A documentary on the Florida Gators team. That included Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez, the Pouncey brothers, Riley Cooper. He said, think about all those personalities.
That would be must-watch TV.
That would be must-watch TV.
If it's done correctly, which I think it would be.
If it's done correctly and,
And it's not a fluff piece on Tim Tebow.
Yes, please. What was going on in Florida at that time, right? So that would be something that would be very interesting to pay attention.
With Urban Meyer, by the way.
Yes. Oh, my God, you're right.
Yeah.
610-632-0975. We will continue everything on the other side, and I believe we will be speaking to Jim Salisbury coming up at 12:40. I will confirm that during the break as the Phillies get closer to returning for the post-All-Star break, second half of the season, and, of course, the MLB trade deadline coming up on August 2nd. But right now, let me tell you about your roof because it's a major deal to replace your roof. I don't know. Did you get the storms last night?
A little bit, yes.
Dude, a little bit for
Just
you.
A little bit.
A lot of bit for me. It was pouring. Man, it was loud on my roof. Now, thank God my roof is still intact and I'm not having any leaks. But there's going to be a time. There will be a time where I'm going to need a new roof. And when you get rains like that, especially with all the climate stuff that's going on, there will be stronger storms. You're going to need a good roof, and that's why you don't want just any company. You want roofing experts. So call New Look Home Design. They've installed over 40,000 roofs. On average, they install one roof every hour, so you know that they have the experience and professionalism that you're looking for, right? And it's not like a cookie-cutter roof where it's the same thing every single time. They're going to do the roof that you absolutely need. They offer same-day on-site or virtual estimates, whatever is best with your schedule. They provide a 3D rendering of your home showing you exactly what your new roof will look like, and every estimate includes line-by-line pricing so you know exactly what you're going to be paying for, okay? So from the very first to the very last shingle, let me also say they're not going to screw you over with all the inflation costs that we're going on with right now, okay? And in my opinion, best of all, they also offer a lifetime warranty, so you know that they stand behind their work. Through July 31st, get 50% off all roofing materials, plus no payments, no interest financing for 12 months. That is right. You heard that right. Get your new roof now and make no payments for a full year. If you need a new roof or are just exploring your options, take my advice. Call New Look Home Design, the roofing experts. Their phone number, 800-279-5300, or visit them online, newlookhomedesign.com. That's NULookHomeDesign.com. And tell them Andrew sent you.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber struggles in the Derby. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Fresh lobster, melted butter, and a toasted bun. Simple, pure, incomparably delicious, incomparably Maine. Visit Maine.com. This message sponsored to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Yes, Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber entered last night's home run derby with the second best odds to take home the trophy, but could get nothing going as he was upset in round one by Albert Pujols 20-19. National star Juan Soto defeated Julio Rodriguez in the final and became the second youngest derby winner ever. It was the first derby final to feature two players aged 23 or younger. Schwarber looks to have some better fortune tonight as he is the only player representing the Phillies in the All-Star game. First pitch for tonight's game is at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just one game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app. The 92nd Major League Baseball All-Star Game is today at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers, will get the start for the National League. He's a -112 favorite. Kershaw 7-2, a 2.13 earned run average. It's his first start in his 9th All-Star appearance. Tampa Bay's Shane McClanahan will get the start for the American League. He's 10-3 with a 1.71 ERA, the best in baseball. American League +102, 8 under the total at Chavez Ravine. 4-time Pocono Raceway winner Kyle Busch, the 7-1 favorite, wins Sunday's M&M Fan Appreciation 400. Red Hot winning picks available. Experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% with the promo code ACTION75. Mike Sennett, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app. I love to explore the daily and weekly promotions. I play with live dealers, and if I ever have a question, well, the best-in-class customer support team helps me 24/7. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with promo code Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's promo code Bob.
Hey, it's Ricky Bowe for Guided Door and Window. The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again, to keep your home cooling more efficiently and help save you on high energy bills. I suggest you go Guida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guided Door and Window. Right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple-pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and the pay it off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guided today. Take advantage of these limited time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's GoGuida.com.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money in your pocket for doing a great deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and the process, it's similar to donating blood. For locations and info on how you can donate plasma and earn up to $825 this month, visit CSLPlasma.com. Walk-ins are welcome. CSL Plasma, good for you, great for life.
With Philly Pretzel Factory, there are no wrong choices, but beware. Everyone loves pretzels, so be sure to get enough for the whole gang. No matter how big or small your celebration might be, there's a party tray for you. To find your nearest store, visit PhillyPretzelFactory.com and click Find a Store. Philly Pretzel Factory stores are ready and eager to serve you the hot, soft pretzel you've been longing for. Philly Pretzel Factory, where better gets made. Find your store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com.
How are your kids getting their news? From their friends? Through social media? Can they ask you questions about what's going on around them? And will you be ready? Kids are exposed to more than you think. Help them understand the world around them and how they fit into it. Family mental health begins with how you respond to the events around us. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring Focus on Family. For tips on how to talk to your kids and how to develop your own coping skills, visit our website.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Progressive presents Don't Do It Yourself.
Okay, read me the manual.
Using a Phillips screwdriver, drehen Sie die Haube, bis sie fit sitzt.
What was that?
Drehen Sie die Haube, bis sie fit sitzt.
This sounds like another language to me.
Okay, maybe we should bundle our home and auto with Progressive. We could save big, then pay someone to do it for us.
Maybe. What's next?
Next, Pony Ostium Pronus and Terra.
Was that one Latin?
Save when bundling home and auto with Progressive and use the money to, not do it yourself. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
A table set means a hard day of work has been met. Savor every minute of your meal with Stella Artois and the ones you cherish most. We spend most of our day working hard and showing up, so we owe it to ourselves to turn our evenings into something special. And what better way to do that than with a good meal and a cold Stella? Gather round with your loved ones and make time for the life Artois. Always enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Stella Artois Beer. Brewed in the USA. Stella Artois, St. Louis, Missouri, 2022.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact NJDiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to NJDiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. You're not sure you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com and lose the weight for good.
Didn't get the chance to hear your favorite Fanatic host today? Go to 975thefanatic.com right now and download the Best of Show Daily Podcast. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
12:32. 97.5 The Fanatic, Andrew Sal Chunas filling in for the Cuz until August 1st. 12 o'clock hour brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. I hope the air conditioning is working because this is just an awful, awful week for people that do not like the heat. I don't mind it. I really don't. I ran 3.5 miles yesterday in the heat. Like, I don't mind the heat.
Good for you.
I'm like a psycho. Like, I turn the air down in there to 45 degrees.
Yes, you do.
And then I also like the extreme heat. I'm an extreme weather guy.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, no, it is. But I've said this before. Borderline psycho move. Not borderline. Definitely. I like when you first get into the car in the middle of the summer and it's like you can barely breathe in it. Yeah, I like that.
That is absolutely a psycho move.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, it is.
Why? You just like how,
I just like that like crisp feeling.
It's crisp. It's melting. Your face melting off feeling. Well,
feels
different.
Good. Feels good. And then like when the air cools off enough and then you turn it off again to sort of get that middle ground feeling. Yeah, no, it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I listen.
Got to be checked out, dude.
My wife probably thinks I'm crazy because she's actually listening right now. So shout out to Christy. Nice. And of course, shout out to the pharmacist, Cooper. She just sent me a video. He was looking at the TV screen and saw Dad they're watching on the YouTube.
On YouTube,
so,
nice.
So YouTube. Shout out to my wonderful wife and to Cooper because they're hanging out watching the show. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you got a nice little treat during the break because not to out anyone, but sometimes when Chevy leaves at noon, whoever's floating takes care of the YouTube feed the rest of the show. And look, they're doing a lot of other things.
Yeah.
They're answering phones, making the article posts. Still haven't done that. A lot of other stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, cutting audio,
behind the scenes.
doing podcast stuff. Yep, everything.
And so the YouTube thing is relatively new. So sometimes, we forget to go to commercial on the YouTube feed. We were seen.
Both of us, I'm guessing.
Enjoying our delicious wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I appreciate Buffalo Wild Wings for dropping off some incredible food today. I had the Asian Zing as well as the hot and honey barbecue. The Asian Zing was tremendous, but I have to say that the wing is an all-timer for me. The wing is not an attractive food to eat. Like you don't look okay eating wings.
It's not a food you eat on a first date. Is that fair to say?
So here's the thing. Speaking of, there's a couple of items that you should avoid that like ordering or you hope to God your in-laws or future in-laws don't make. So now that Christy's watching, I'll bring it up. I met Christy's parents previously, like to us dating, but then it was like the first time I was invited to eat. I think we were now dating.
Which is nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. Because I can be sloppy.
Okay.
And you may have seen it during the break for crying out loud, right? Because here I am munching down on my wings. And yes, ranch is appropriate with the wings. Don't try to be a hardo and say, I eat without the dipping sauce. There's too many people like that in this world.
It adds to the deliciousness.
Exactly.
Why would I avoid that?
Listen, I don't know. I just like my hot wings hot. That's it. Whatever. So I shoot the text over. You know what we're having? My mom's making ribs.
Nice.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
ribs is not a safe thing to eat the first day you're meeting your girlfriend's parents.
No, that's not a first type food.
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
We've now like 6 years now.
Okay, the first time you met, her parents or whoever she lives with, do you remember the meal it may have been? Like, was it a safe meal? That's why you don't remember.
Fine, yeah.
Because it was safe.
Fine. Yeah.
Dude, I was terrified.
Okay.
Terrified.
I don't blame you.
Because, like, you
well,
can't.
you were what, like 20, maybe?
Yeah, it's something like
early
that.
20s, whatever. So you're still young.
It's been a while. Those years blend together. Love you, honey. Yeah, but I was, I was young, and so definitely before 21 because we were together for my 21st birthday. I remember.
I do.
But like the ribs, you can never not get messy eating ribs.
No.
right? If there's barbecue sauce on it, even if there's a damn dry rub, it gets on your cheeks. Like there is no way you can avoid getting messy eating the ribs.
You look like a wild animal every time you eat 'em.
For my fellow SpongeBob fans out there, when he first had the Krabby Patty and his teeth came out really far, the Squidward, you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yes.
That was basically me that night eating the ribs, like, because I don't want to be an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Now, her parents don't care; they're munching away, right? But here I am, like sweating, like, oh my god, I need to be able to eat these ribs, like without being an absolute
Now,
mess.
how was Christy eating them?
I don't think I paid attention.
Okay.
I was paying attention
So,
to
like, if
my
I look up-
to my performance, my rib eating performance so much that I don't even remember her eating them.
If I look up and I'm on a first dinner, first date, whatever.
Yes.
And you order the same thing and the girl is going to town on them and the face is all crazy, then I'd be like, all right, whatever. She's cool with it. She seems like a cool girl. Let's just go.
That's good.
But you weren't.
No, I was
interested.
no. I was terrified, and I was definitely a take a bite, wipe my mouth, I obsessed with it with the napkin.
Go through the entire rack of napkins.
Yeah, it was bad. So I was kind of terrified. By the way, Jeff McPeak on our YouTube chat says that he is that guy that I just called out. The guy that says, I just like my hot wings hot and I don't like ranch or blue cheese. Like, come on, man. Like, listen, you don't have to have it. I'm fine. You want to eat your wing dry or whatever? That's cool. But like, don't be that guy, right? Like, let people live. Sometimes, the guy I work with doesn't let people live, right? God forbid he found out that Tom dipped his pizza in ranch the other day. Oh, boy, Tom would be in trouble. The KGP would be all over him. So coming up in a minute, Jim Salisbury is going to be joining the show. And I love Jim. Jim and I have talked a lot of baseball through the years, the Fanatic Baseball Show, RIP. Those were the good old days. But I'm excited to talk to Jim because we are getting closer and closer to the trade deadline. We're about to embark the unofficial second half of the MLB season after the All-Star break comes to an end. All-Star game is tonight. Phillies go into the break with a nice sweep of the Marlins, which was very important, 6 games above 500. So you know that I'm excited. Tom Alvord, producing the show, is excited. But it's still a mystery to me, some of these games that they are winning. So let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. And, of course, can't wait to talk to him, Jim Salisbury. Jim, how are you today?
Hey, how you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing great, Jim. I'll be honest, man, as high as I am on the Phillies, still have no idea how they've been winning games 12-8 without Bryce Harper. You have a second baseman batting below 200 until Gene Segura gets back. You have the carousel in center field. Nick Castellanos is not playing up to standards. Jim, what's going on? How are they winning these games right now?
I would say with the most important element in the sport, and that's pitching. I mean, you had a 9-game road trip last week, St. Louis, Toronto, and Miami. They won 5 of those games, 4 of them by shutout. So they're getting really good starting pitching, and the bullpen, and it's been a disaster around here with the bullpen the last few years. Well, since June 1, they have the 4th best bullpen in the major league. So bullpens, they get hot, they get cold. I mean, this bullpen's on a really good roll. They have an excellent starting pitching rotation. It's taken a hit without Eflin, but the guys that are still there are pitching really, really well. Wheeler's a stud, Nola's a stud. Kyle Gibson had 2 terrific performances on the last road trip. Ranger Suarez had a good one, which is very encouraging. So that's how they're doing it. Pitching, and just, getting enough runs, timely hitting. Miami, they had 2 games where they scored all their runs in 1 inning. That night against Alcantara, there was it 7th inning. They rallied for a couple runs, and then the other day they got 4 in 1 inning. So, it's when you get the hits, right? And they got timely hitting, and the pitching has just locked the door.
Now, Jim, you've covered plenty of managers that have come through Philadelphia, and of course Joe Girardi fired after the 22-29 start. So Rob Thompson comes in as the interim manager. Listen, there's no exact science to what a manager does to a ball club. but I guess that you get the same sense that everybody else that maybe the vibe is a little bit different. Now, winning always heals issues, right? Winning always makes things better. But what's the difference ever since Rob Thompson has taken over the Phillies as the interim manager?
Well, you hit it on the head. Winning changes everything. You know, when you win, that's where your chemistry comes from. When you lose, the sport is, absolute drudgery. Reporting to the ballpark every day. It can be very difficult when you're in one of those losing swirls that they were in. I think the firing jarred that clubhouse. It was sort of like a 2x4 over the head. It got everybody's attention, and it shook them, and they looked in the mirror, and they started playing better. This winning streak that they're on since June 1 actually started with Joe.
Right.
They had a big win. They rallied against the Giants, I want to say, on the final night of that series. Then there was an off day on Thursday. They make the change. But I just think the move shocked the clubhouse, and they looked in the mirror and they played better, and now they get on a roll, and the confidence builds, and it just happens. I mean, I do think they're prideful people, and when you fire a guy and you fire him because the players didn't play good enough, that wounds their pride. And if they're real competitors, they bounce back. I mean, I actually think they ought to try the same strategy with Castellanos and drop him in the order. Shock him. Shock his system. See what happens. But I'm getting off on a tangent there. But Thompson's done a terrific job. He's much more laid back than Joe. He's just a different personality, and they're good buddies. I mean, they were they were at each other's hip all those years. Rob is Joe was very, very intense, very regimented. Rob, I think, has just got a little easier way, and I think this clubhouse is responding to that.
Now, I appreciate the tangent that you went on, because before we get to the trade deadline discussion, I do want to talk about the current players on this team and the unofficial second half that they're about to start later on this week. Are there changes that you see happening? Do you think JT Realmuto is going to change his offensive game? Do you think Nick Castellanos is going to become more of the player as advertised, the guy that got the contract? Gene Segura will eventually come back. Bryce Harper will eventually come back. So before we even talk about any trades, do you see an improvement from some of the players on this roster that you see currently?
I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. All I have is track record, and Castellanos has had pretty good track records, and it's hard to believe he's been, he's delivered so poorly for this team. But I don't know if it's in there. I don't know if it's going to come. Realmuto certainly swung it better here these last 10 or 12 days, and especially the last 4 or 5, really responded to a little rest. So he's getting a little bit more here over the break. So you would think maybe he could come out firing early, next week, starting Friday against the Cubs, and then they have the Braves. They will get Segura and Harper back. Segura is ahead of schedule, and he is like chomping at the bit to get back. He was hitting the other day in Miami, and he came out of the cage shouting, August 3rd, August 3rd.
Nice.
And that's the day he comes off the 60-day DL. I don't think we'll see him that soon, but maybe, that's an indicator that how badly he wants to get back and how good he's feeling. So Harper and Segura, the two best pure hitters. You get those two guys back. And hand injuries are tough. It takes a little bit of time, but you get them back and they're producing. That's a really nice booster shot for your offense. So we'll see.
Now to the fun stuff, because nobody cares about the current roster. Everybody wants to know about trades. The trade deadline coming up on August 2nd. What kind of deadline will we may see for the Phillies? A couple of years ago, we had the do we, don't we, don't with Andy McPhail. Last year, I thought they had a couple of smart trades. Like, I thought the Galvis trade was smart. They just didn't really play him all that much. And then
he was hurt. How smart could it have been?
Yeah, I know, but he eventually came back. And then the Gibson move I thought was smart because he had him locked up for this year as well. What kind of moves do you think the Phillies make this year? Is it for the future in mind, or is it to make a push for the playoffs this year?
Well, I think they always like to operate with a little bit of both in mind. Like the Gibson move you mentioned. He was controllable for this year, and he's a pretty nice fifth starter. I would actually think about having him back next year. But this organizational priority is to make the postseason here in 2022. Big payroll, star-studded roster. You rescued your season with a great month of June and so far July. Gotten on the back of Schwarber and Hoskins there. You got a manager who seems to have a little bit of a magic wand. They need to make the postseason now, and I think their moves will be structured to get them there now. But in a perfect world, they would get some control over some of these guys and have them for next year, especially pitching. And I think we all know that center field's an issue, offensively and defensively. I think they could use more in the bullpen, even though I just talked about how good they've been.
I agree.
Sir Anthony is carrying a heavy load, and let's not forget, he's still, a building pitcher coming back from Tommy John. He's awfully good, but you don't want to wear him out. It would be great to get somebody that can augment him at the back end. I don't know how realistic that is. Maybe it's Knebel. Maybe it's from somebody from within that steps up. But I do think starting pitching has probably become their number one need now with the news on Zach Eflin. His knee is, he's still out. And until we see him on the mound, he's out. And there's no timetable, and he's a good pitcher, and they're going to miss him. So I would think they'll look to bring in a starting pitcher. It would be great if that guy had a year of control next year. But they want to make the postseason here, and I expect Dave Dombrowski to be aggressive. I don't think he's going to give up Mick Abel, and he should not. I don't think he's going to give up Andrew Painter, and he should not. And I don't probably think he'd give up Griff McGarry, and I don't think he should. I think you need to have those arms. But I think a lot of other guys could be in play here because ownership wants to get to the playoffs. Dombrowski wants to get to the playoffs. And with Nola and Wheeler, the way they can dial a big game up, they could be very dangerous in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
If I were a highly favored team against the Phillies, I would not want to face Zach Wheeler in Game 1 and then Aaron Nola in Game 2 if the Phillies can line it up that way. I just wouldn't. I think those two guys are very, very capable of sending someone home quickly.
So you think it's different this year, Jim, and not just in terms of aggressiveness from the front office and making a trade, but there's been a sense that the team – the last couple of years, we saw the collapses in September that maybe they weren't deep enough and good enough to sustain any sort of run. And we obviously saw that. They still have not made the playoffs in 11 seasons. Do you feel that it's a little bit different this year, that maybe they got that collapse out of the way early and now it's arrow pointing upwards, slightly upwards the remainder of the way?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I definitely think the arrow's pointing upward. How could it not? What's their record since June 1st?
Yeah, they've been on fire.
6 and 15 or something.
And the schedule's easy the rest of the way.
Yeah, schedule gets, but I don't read anything into that. You start pointing at an easy schedule. That's a loser's mentality. You got to go out there and win the ball game that night. But I do believe in momentum and role and confidence and special seasons, and they have a really special leader, in my opinion, in this Kyle Schwarber. So I think they can get there to the postseason. They're going to have to play well. They're going to have to earn it. It's not a given, but they control their own playoff destiny. They hold that third spot right now. They have a tiebreaker over the Cardinals, but they're going to have to make it happen. But I do think they have a chance to get there. If you look at the National League, I think there's only 8 teams over 500. So, 2 of the teams are not going to make it, but it's not like a deep field that they have to. They're with San Diego. The Cardinals are going to be tough. They put some distance between themselves and the Marlins. The Giants are going to be tough. That's a big series against them in September out there. That could be really, really interesting. But with Segura and Harper coming back, and like I said, hand injuries are tricky. Sometimes it takes a little time to really feel like yourself in the batter's box. But if those guys come back swinging it, if Schwarber keeps having this special season, if Rhys Hoskins, who is hot and cold, if he gets on one of the hot stretches and the pitching continues to deliver and the front office can get them some pitching help, I think they can get to the postseason, so we'll see.
All right, last one for you, Jim, before I let you go, and I always appreciate talking baseball with you. I always learn a lot more when I get to talk to you. Any chance, I have to ask it, any chance Juan Soto comes in? Any chance?
I don't. Any chance? He might come up to go to Jim's Cheesesteak.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either, but I just figured I'd ask you before I let you go.
You have to empty out your farm system, and they want Major League ready guys, so that means you have to empty your farm system and also giving Bryson Stott, who, we haven't even talked about him. Segura comes back. I think you have to put Stott at shortstop and say, go get it, kid.
Wow, so you'd play him over Didi?
Yep, I would. I just think it's time. And Didi swung at better in Miami, but no, I think it's time. The kid's done a pretty good job holding his own over there, and what the heck? That would be the way I'd be leaning, unless Didi suddenly, develops bat speed that he had years ago and gets it going. So we'll see.
All right, Jim, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the All-Star break, and we'll be following you along the rest of the season.
Take care, Andrew.
Thanks, Jim. There he is, Jim Salisbury on the Comcast Business Hotline. Now, coming up at 1:21, I know it's weird because that's a commercial break. I'm going to do an Instagram Live for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll explain more on that on the other side. So that's why you want to be stay tuned at 1 o'clock for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. I just munched on some last break. They were absolutely delicious. I also have another $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings just for the best caller. You call in at 610-632-0975, and hopefully lunch will be taken care of. And also, audio from LaShawn McCoy on a big free agent signing the Eagles made years ago. And they knew right from the get-go that the guy was going to be a bust. Can't wait to play that for you. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz right here on The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto wins the Derby. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Mecum Auctions. Mecum Auctions returns to the PA Farm Show Complex in Harrisburg July 27th to 30th with 1,200 muscle cars, classics, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more for auction. Details at mecum.com. Yes, 23-year-old division rival Juan Soto became the second youngest Derby champion ever as he defeated Mariners rookie Julio Rodriguez in the final. Soto took home the crown despite hitting 29 less total homers than Rodriguez did. Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber was upset in the first round by 42-year-old Albert Pujols as he hit just 19 total homers to Pujols' 20. Rounding out the All-Star break festivities is the 92nd MLB All-Star game that begins at 8 o'clock tonight in Los Angeles. Second-year Ray Shane McClanahan will be facing off against hometown legend Clayton Kershaw to begin the game. Schwarber is the lone Philly participating. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just one game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. This now opens up a roster spot for the Birds. Keep it locked with Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Cuz. The savings on fire during Colonial Marble and Granite's Beat the Heat Summer Sale. Save 20% off all granite, marble, and quartz countertops, kitchen, bathrooms, bars, and outdoor, because summer is the peak season for entertaining. Need a coordinating backsplash? Save up to 25% on that as well. The selection's unreal. King of Prussia Showroom Slab Yard is like a museum. Over 5,000 slabs in 500 different colors. You're looking for a statement piece? All exotic blowout inventory is up to 65% off. Go to one of their local showrooms over the weekend. Get a free Edge upgrade with purchase. That's a big move. Strong move. 0 money down, 0% financing available on purchases of $19.99 or more for up to 18 months. Listen, I can't wait to get started on my kitchen renovation, all by the experts at Colonial Marble and Granite. For details, go to one of their local showrooms or online at colonialmarble.net and tell them Cuz sent you.
Hi, it's John Kincaid, and I've got a success story for you, and it's a personal success. I've been telling you about CoPair Health and how Vance has been leading me through the process, trying to lose some weight and feel my best before football season. How about 22 pounds in 11 weeks? And I feel great, and I feel confident, and I know that CoPair has helped me out. For all of July, mention me, and you're going to save hundreds of dollars. While most costs are higher than ever, CoPair is offering its greatest value to help you lose weight and feel better. This personal coaching system is going to help you understand what foods to eat, when to eat them, how you work out, and more importantly, get you in the right state of mind so the weight loss comes easy. Go to COPAREhealth.com. That's COPAREhealth.com and tell them John Kincaid lost 22 pounds in 11 weeks. I know I can do it. I can promise you. You can. You just need a little help. And CoPair's going to give it to you. Go to CoPairHealth.com.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. Because the BetParx app has a brand new sports book. Live bets and parlays? You bet. Instant deposits and incredible app experience? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you already a winner just for signing up on the BetParx Sportsbook app? You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only. Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new BetParks app is everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And all new BetParks app users can choose between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. Which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
As America's largest injury firm, we have advantages few others do. Our results and reputation are well known to the other side, and we have a track record of going toe-to-toe with them and winning big. But what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your case? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One of the things we're most proud about is that we set up our firm so that your case gets lots of attention from a lot of people. Our technology and army of lawyers give us insight and oversight into every detail and every moment of your case. Paralegals, legal assistants, investigators, buildings with boxes of evidence. Every resource carefully designed to get you the most possible. And at Morgan & Morgan, we even have a dedicated team to make sure that your calls are returned that very same day. Injured? Dial pound law. That's pound 529. All law firms are not the same. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Injured? Visit ForThePeople.com for an office near you.
Think you know Amazon? Think again. Did you know you can get paid when it works best for you? Yeah, that means you can get the money you earned directly after your shift. Or that you get benefits like healthcare on your very first day. As an Amazon warehouse associate, you'll be amazed by what you can get. To learn more about all of the benefits of working an hourly job at Amazon, go to Amazon.com/hourly. That's Amazon.com/hourly. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Progressive presents Don't Do It Yourself.
Okay, fixing a water heater. Easy peasy.
Oh, yeah? So you know how to secure the skiff joint?
Yeah.
Detach the steam pump?
Takes 2 seconds.
And fasten the double to the pressure tube?
Yeah, my dad taught me how to do that.
Oh, that's interesting, because I made all those things up. Look, we should just bundle our home and auto with Progressive. We could save big, then pay someone to do it for us.
That's cool. This double's the wrong size anyway.
Save when bundling home and auto with Progressive and use the money to, not do it yourself. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Come on, we're going to be late to the cookout.
I was just packing up my famous mac and cheese.
I hope you packed the Pepto, too.
Huh?
Pepto-Bismol provides fast relief from heartburn and indigestion. You know, that uncomfortable feeling after you eat too much. And after the deviled eggs, baked beans, and barbecue ribs, you're going to need it.
Barbecue ribs? I should probably pack an extra shirt, too.
Good call.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For over 35 years, Health Partners Plans has been proudly caring for people in the community. Our nationally recognized Medicaid plan offers a growing network of doctors and hospitals so you can get care close to home. Health Partners can help you get the care you need, including doctor and hospital visits, prescriptions, immunizations, eye and dental care, and more. To learn more, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit hpplans.com. Health Partners, trusted care where and when you need it.
In the heat of the moment, you keep it calm and cool with a $3 medium ice cold brew. And not just any cold brew, but one that's slow steeped and mixed with brown sugar and molasses flavor. With a cold foam infused with brown sugar coolness and a cinnamon sugar sprinkle on top. That's keeping it calm, cool, and cold brewed. With Dunkin's new brown sugar cream cold brew, now $3 along with all medium cold brews. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
.102, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz until August 1st. Just spoke to Jim Salisbury last segment about all things Phillies before the start of the second half of the season, the unofficial second half of the season. Talked about a little bit about the trade deadline. He says pitcher as the number one option. You and I kind of talked about that before. I wanted them to acquire an arm at the deadline at the beginning of the season. Like, I thought highly of the team this year. Did I think they were going to go 22-29 to start the year? No, I did not. But I thought that at some point starting pitcher would be a need because I thought Suarez was going to take a bit of a step back, and then I didn't think there was really going to be a vast difference between who should that fourth starter be between him and Gibson. And I was kind of like, oh, well, if you can get an arm, you should probably do that. I also didn't think Zach Eflin would be hurt again. Like, I thought you're pretty set with Wheeler, Nolan, Eflin. Unfortunately, coming off of the repaired knee, and I know it's not the same injury that was in the most recent story about Zach Eflin, that it's not the same area of the knee that he had surgically repaired. But still, that's concerning, and you just heard it in Jim's voice. He was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I don't know when he's going to come back, which that sucks, right? I mean, his tone was a lot different. You know what else his tone was different about? I asked him who was going to kind of get better second half of the season, and he dropped the I don't have the crystal ball line on me. But he said, JT was swinging the bat well before the All-Star break, benefited from a couple days off. Obviously, he didn't play in Toronto. But then he also said, yeah, Castellanos, I mean, I have no idea. The tone was a lot different with Castellanos. So even though Jim doesn't have a crystal ball, you could hear it in his tone that maybe he thinks Real Muto is going to have a better second half, but he wasn't sold on Castellanos.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the frustration that Jim has and that us Phillies fans have is like, why hasn't it happened yet? Like, we know he has a long track record. We know he is a good hitter. There's a reason he got a $100 million contract, but like, when, man? Like, you got to figure it out eventually, right? And I feel like that's what we're all kind of saying at this point, right? You're going to figure it out eventually, but is he? Because it doesn't seem like he's anywhere close. At least power, like he's getting some more hits now, but they're all singles and like doubles, like gap, which is nice. A gap double's nice, but I would love a home run here or there, maybe more than like one a month, like he had in June.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like that. But he's showing no signs. It's not like he's pulling balls, but pulling them foul, but they're 420 feet or something like that. Like you don't see any signs.
No, I mean he has like
I
think he's sixth on the Phillies in slugging, sixth or seventh, and he's supposed to be
second,
3, 4, or 5 in the order. Right, yeah, second. In 3, 4, 5 in the order. And he's got the 6th or 7th highest slugging on the team. And you're like, damn, dude. Like, come on.
And now, listen, Rob Thompson, he's got the Midas touch right now. Everything he's doing is going correctly for this Phillies team. You have to bump Castellanos down at that point. And I know you don't really have a ton of other great options at this point with no Segura, with no Harper. Obviously, you didn't have JT and Bohm for a couple games there. But you have to do something. You can't just keep throwing them out there in the 4 spot every single game.
No, and that's why it's interesting. Salisbury, when he was talking about the trade deadline, he said center field is a need, obviously, but he didn't really touch on it that much. Like, he had starting pitcher number 1 on his list of needs for the Phillies. My hope is they do acquire a center fielder that can also bat leadoff. I'm not trying to take Schwarber out of it, right? Schwarber is the leadoff hitter right now. But if you could get, I've been talking about Cedric Mullins for 2 years now. Brian Reynolds, I know, is a guy that's available. Whit Merrifield is a guy that is available. Benintendi is a guy that's available. All these guys that can bat leadoff, right? To fix this Castellanos thing, at least until Harper comes back, maybe you just do trade acquisition, leadoff hitter, and Schwarber too.
If Schwarber, and I know the average isn't great, if he comes off the next 2 weeks out of this All-Star break on a similar tear power-wise,
and you don't move him,
I'm not messing with him at all. But I get what you're saying. Maybe you see if he goes through a slump, maybe bump him down to 2. But in the meantime, that center field guy he sits at the number 2 spot or something like that. The issue I have with that, and I agree, I'm all in. They should go get a center fielder more than just a platoon bat for a left-handed
God, please,
bat. Like, I like Vierling. I think we all like Vierling, but we know there's limitations. Like, how nice would it be for a win-now team to have a win-now center fielder?
To not have Matt Vierling, right.
Yes, correct. However, he did mention that they're not pairing with Abel, McGarry, and Painter. Can you get a player like that, like a Cedric Mullins, like a Whit Merrifield, and a starting pitcher without giving one of those guys up? I think that's kind of why he wasn't really excited about the center field, because the priority is starting pitcher. All their main prospects are probably that they are willing to move are going to go to the starting pitcher rather than the center fielder.
So I don't have the pipeline for other teams in front of me. Obviously, you're not gonna send O'Hoppe to Baltimore because they just got that new phenom up,
Adley Rutschman. Yep.
But maybe O'Hoppe, who is now in the top 100 pipeline list and Major League Baseball team star for catching. He's a guy that can hit a little bit. unless they are sold on him being the future of the Phillies behind the dish, like maybe when JT's contract is done, but that's still for a couple of years.
I think he's got 3 more years.
Yeah. Like, are you going to hold on to Hoppy that long back
you
then?
really don't have anywhere else to play him with Hoskins for another year. Bohm, who knows where he goes at first base.
So I'm sure he's a guy that would intrigue some teams.
I would agree.
But yeah, you're right about those other guys that they don't want to move on from. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's a guy that could be a possibility that the Phillies could part ways with. But I don't know, like if for right now until Segura and Harper are back, if you're sticking with Schwarber in the leadoff spot, the problem is the 8-9 hitters are so bad at times that he's hitting solo shots all the time, which is great and all, but you would wish there'd be a couple more guys, which is why, like, if you had a Merrifield who can get on base, Schwarber behind him, maybe it's a 2-run home run. But if you go Schwarber leadoff, Hoskins 2, who are you batting third then?
And that's, like I said, I'm not
trusting Derek Hall. I mean, listen, they trust Derek Hall, put him in the middle of the order, but he's only batting against righties.
Yes. And he's been struggling since his red hot, first week.
So what, Derek Hall bats third, and now who bats fourth?
Especially
JT?
if you bump Castellanos down, yeah.
Right? Like JT's fourth, and then
Which is why we tried to avoid with JT Realmuto, because last year he was batting a lot of fourth for them, and it wasn't working. You were relying on him too much.
I hate it, yeah. I want him. Honestly, I've been saying it since they got him. I want him to be the 2-hitter of this team, gap guy. Like, my dream right now would be, ignore the Hoskins on base thing, let him swing the bat, so you go with Schwarber leadoff, Realmuto 2. Now he's got to hit the ball better, right? He's starting to heat up a little bit. And heat up I use, very lightly because he's at 250.
He had 6 hits in that Marlins series.
But if Realmuto's 2, and then if you want to go the lefty-righty thing, you go Hall, then Hoskins. Or if you want to stick Hoskins, then Hall, then Castellanos is 5th. But that's, really the lowest you can drop him. You can't, who?
But does that even make a difference at that point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like with him, when it comes to, he needs to be, kind of 2x4 to the head, wake up. Just dropping him one spot and do anything to him? Probably not.
Probably not.
But then you're relying on Didi. I also like that he said Stott over Didi. I love that.
Well, that was the plan, really, kind of from the beginning, but Joe Girardi, that was his guy, and then Didi got hurt, and then Joe Girardi loved DeAndre Jordan. Johan Camargo, and just played him all the time, way too much. And then his average dipped into 220s. Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're cool with Stott.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just not cool with Camargo either. I mean, Stott's not. I can't say Stott's great. He's in under 200.
No, he's been struggling. But
I'm just going back to the rants where
the anti-Camargo Girardi rants.
Girardi played Camargo every day, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's gonna get exposed. And he was.
He did.
Speaking of baseball, tonight is the MLB All-Star game. So before we get to this Eagles audio that I was telling you about from the Sean McCoy and the I Am Athlete podcast, your lineup today, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even see how it's a contest, at least to start. American League, DH, Shohei Ohtani leading off. Home run leader, Aaron Judge, batting second. One of the most exciting players to watch, Rafael Devers, batting third at third. Vlad Guerrero Jr., one of the best power hitters in baseball, fourth. The guy who hits the hardest baseballs I ever really see in my life, Giancarlo Stanton, bats fifth. When he's healthy, the dude just hits missiles. Byron Buxton bats sixth. He replaced Mike Trout, who's out. Tim Anderson bats seventh. Love Tim Anderson. Andres Jimenez, the second baseman with the Guardians, who replaced Jose Altuve, is batting eighth. And Alejandro Kirk, catcher for the Blue Jays, bats ninth. Shane McClanahan is the pitcher for the Rays. Your National League starting lineup. Ronald Acuna Jr., obviously stud, leading off, batting right field. Mookie Betts, stud, batting second and center. Machado, third at third. Goldschmidt, highest average in baseball. Cleanup at first base. Trey Turner, love him, batting fifth at shortstop. Wilson Contreras, catcher. William Contreras, DH. He replaced Bryce Harper. Jock Peterson batting eighth, and Jeff McNeil replaced the injured Jazz Chisholm. He'll be batting ninth, and Clayton Kershaw gets a start for the Dodgers. Obviously, all great players. But, dude, to me, it's not even a contest. I look at those lineups, I go, oh, my God.
Especially,
the American League is ridiculous.
Especially power-wise. Like,
yes.
The first six names are pretty similar when it comes to stardom and, like, how great of players they actually are. But then you get a drop-off of Wilson Contreras, who's having a nice year as a catcher, really nice year. He is. But then William Contreras is your DH. Don't love that there. Jock Peterson has nice power, but he's Jock Peterson. He signed a 1-year deal with nothing crazy. And then Jeff McNeil, who just gives you nothing. Not nothing.
You just hear those names in the American League.
And then,
I like Paul Goldschmidt, but come on. Like, if I'm going, all right, we'll do it in a very elemental way here. Ohtani v. William Contreras, DH.
Hot take, I might take Ohtani.
Okay, that's a strong hot take.
Yeah,
Aaron Judge or Ronald Acuna Jr., right field?
Judge is having an MVP season, Judge right now.
So you got to go Judge.
Yes.
Devers at third or Machado at third? And I love Manny Machado, but you got to go Devers, right?
I don't know if you have to go Devers.
Machado's having a great season.
He's having a great year.
If he didn't get hurt, I mean, he was having an MVP
He's MVP
season.
discussion.
He'll still be in it.
Long term, not even long term. I like Devers better, but I think it's right now. I think it's a wash.
All right, it's a wash then. Okay. Vlad Jr. first base, Paul Goldschmidt first base.
I mean, Goldschmidt's having an MVP type season, but that's Vlad Jr. we're talking about.
Vlad Jr.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton versus Jock Peterson.
When healthy, and he is, Giancarlo Stanton.
Byron Buxton versus Mookie Betts.
Wash.
I'll go Betts.
Yeah, this year. Because
I like
Buxton's
Byron
healthy.
Buxton.
He's healthy, actually, finally.
I like Buxton a lot.
But
I actually kind of wanted the Phillies to go after him, but I understood the health concerns. And then when I saw the money he got paid, I was like, okay, good. I'm glad that they didn't get him. But he is healthy, having a good year, all-star year, obviously. The only reason why he wasn't named the starter in the first place is because it's Mike Trout, fan vote, all that kind of stuff. But yes, I'm going Mookie Betts. But through 6 spots, only one National Leaguer has won so far. Tim Anderson versus Trey Turner.
Turner.
Yes. I love Tim Anderson. Love him to death. But I think it is Trey Turner, future Philly Trey Turner. Andres Jimenez versus Jeff McNeil. It's not even close.
It's not even close.
Not even close. Jimenez.
Yeah, you're probably right, but not even close.
All right, Mr. Slap Singles.
That's a wash. That's a wash.
And then Kirk behind the dish versus Wilson Contreras behind the dish. I like Kirk a lot. I think he's a young guy that's going to make an impact.
He is. Contreras is having a nice season, power-wise, too, so I'd be fine with either. I'll go wash.
Okay.
But that's still what?
So
2 NLs?
One or 2 NLs, yeah.
Compared to...
I mean, it's a very elemental way of looking at it, but it is crazy how deep that American League All-Star roster is, that lineup is. All right, I promised this. Nnamdi, I just gave it away. LaShawn McCoy, you'll hear it in a second, he was doing the I Am Athlete podcast, which every once in a while we get something from it. Because the last one that we played was the clip with Deshaun Jackson. And we found out that Donovan McNabb, there's a reason why people don't like him. He was upset that Deshaun Jackson was named the first ever receiver and return man starter. First time ever in the NFL Pro Bowl history, somebody was named the starter to 2 different positions. And Donovan McNabb was upset about it. Started going around telling Mike Vick and other members of the locker room that Deshaun Jackson didn't deserve it. Like, yo, dude, how bad of a guy do you have to be to go around complaining? Well, Carson Wentz kind of did that, complaining to Darren Sproles that the Eagles were winning games without him. But, hey, he's not here either anymore. So, LaShawn McCoy, I just kind of spoiled it, Nnamdi Asomugha. They talked about Nnamdi. And the second they found out he was going to be a bust here in Philadelphia after he signed that contract, the same day the Phillies traded for Hunter Pence, the last time I really had news broken to me on ESPN, right, before Twitter and all that kind of stuff, I still remember. It's like one of the last major stories. That and the firing of Chip Kelly. And so here's LaShawn McCoy. And who else was with LaShawn McCoy?
Asante Samuel.
And Asante Samuel, all right, who we all love. Talking about the moment they knew that Nnamdi Asomugha would be a bust.
So when we had Nnamdi, it was his first one-on-one at practice, right? It was camp. And everybody thought, we got Nnamdi. He sounded like a big-ass deal. So we all looking. We like, ooh, like that type of thing. Like, ooh. So look, but when he went against the tight end, Brent Selleck. Brent was a good tight end. He wasn't like a route runner. He was like this all-together complete, can block, can run a little bit. So when he went against the tight end, we like...
This is the first day?
The first day. We like...
First day.
Yo, the tight end hit him with like a post corner. We was like, we look at the gym like, first day looking bad. Look, you know how Sana is. Told you.
So they knew right away. Brent Selleck beats him on a route, and I love Brent Selleck. You know, I'm so glad that he won the Super Bowl, right? All that kind of stuff. But Brent Selleck, not, you know,
he's not Travis Kelce.
He's not Travis Kelce. Brent Selleck is top 10 all time Eagles receiving yards, which is kind of crazy to think about. Which is just it's sad. If we're being completely honest, as historic a franchise the Eagles are, Brent Selleck should not be in the top 10 for receiving yards all time in Philadelphia Eagles franchise history. I went on a rant the other day. Harold Carmichael shouldn't be number one. And with all due respect to Harold Carmichael, that is a huge testament to how great he was in his day before it was this run and gun style of NFL. But the fact that they haven't had anybody since then surpass him is kind of crazy. It should have been Deshaun, but Chip Kelly is an idiot. Especially also the guy who reported it, that he was in a gang. That's stupid. I can't believe he did that. Thanks a lot. But yeah, so Brent Selleck beats Nnamdi Asomugha on a route, and they knew right away that they were in trouble.
And he said at the end there, Asante looks at everyone and goes, "Told you."
Told you. Yeah, Asante must have known. And then there was the weird Nnamdi eating lunch by himself in his car. Like, that was kind of weird.
I thought that was one where it was surefire this thing's going to work. Because, like, for the seasons prior to that, when you heard Nnamdi Asomugha, you thought, like, best corner in the league. Top-tier corner, shutdown corner. You bring him into Philadelphia, and you're like, this is going to work, no doubt. And he gets exposed, and it didn't work at all. And they know it one play into a training camp practice or whatever it was.
So we never really got into it earlier, but we'll get into it during the final segment. The time we were wrong. So yesterday, we discussed the ridiculous comments that Andre Iguodala made, saying that Rasheed Wallace would be better than Giannis Antetokounmpo if Rasheed Wallace was in the NBA today. And so off of that, we did the hill that you will die on. And what was yours again, Tom?
Draymond Green is the most fortunate, one of the most overrated players of all time.
I said that Gabe Kapler is not this incredible manager because everybody gave him so much credit for winning 102 games last year. I thought it was just a weird season. And look, they're now fighting for a wild card berth this year. They're not going to win 102 or however 100 and whatever amount of games they won last year. It was ridiculous last season. So today we want to do the time we were wrong. So we'll get into that coming up on the other side at 610-632-0975. But I'm also going to go live on my Instagram during this break. So check me out, ASalCunas 975, ASALCIUNAS 975. I know that was too quick for you to really know it, but ASalCunas 975 on Instagram. I'm going to go live. I did this on Friday of last week where I gave you a keyword during the Instagram Live, and then when I said the keyword on the air, I had people call in for Fan Fest tickets, and a bunch of people won. I was very happy that happened. This time, I'm going to do something similar, and I'll explain it on the live. So you have to check it out, ASalCunas 975, and whatever I do, that'll be your way to win a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's going to be nice and easy. I'll explain it during the live. I'll just have you call in. Won't even need you on the air. You're going to have to call in, and Mike Vito will take care of you. But I'll explain everything on the live. So, again, check me out on Instagram, ASalCunas975, for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings, who dropped off some food today. They were amazing. They got specials from 3 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. Great deals on drinks all day. Of course, all valid participating locations while supplies last, dine-in only. Also, Tuesday nights, Buffalo Wild Wings has buy one, get one, half off traditional wings. So make sure you stop by today. So I'm going to go live on Instagram coming up during the break. We got one segment left before Devon Givens and Tyler Zulli take you from 2 until 6. But until then, it's Andrew Salchunas right here on The Fanatic, and it's the halfway point of the baseball season. We have the Midsummer Classic tonight, so turn big hits and dingers into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge before the Midsummer Classic. It's tonight. New customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up using promo code Fanatic, place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. Obviously, every player that is there deserves to be in the All-Star game, whether you're a reserve or a starter. But you just heard Tom and I going through it. you look at that American League starting 9, I don't know how they lose. Now, look, they don't play all 9 innings. I get it. They have to cycle through so that everybody gets a chance to play. It's really cool. I love that they do it. But that American League lineup is not one that you want to bet against. Okay, so if you are making a bet, put it on the AL All-Star team. So there's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code FANATIC to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. You must be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Schwarber struggles in the Derby. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Crystal clear lakes, trout-filled streams, wide sandy beaches, Maine has them. It's summer and the water is calling. Visit Maine.com. This message sponsored to you by Maine Office of Tourism. Yes, Phillies outfielder Kyle Schwarber entered last night's home run derby with the second best odds to take home the trophy, but could get nothing going as he was upset in round 1 by 42-year-old Albert Pujols. National star Juan Soto defeated Julio Rodriguez in the final and became the second youngest derby winner ever. It was the first derby final to feature 2 players aged 23 or younger. Schwarber looks to have some better fortune tonight as he is the only player representing the Phillies in the All-Star game. First pitch for tonight's game is at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. And we are officially 1 week away from training camp. The Eagles made a move yesterday as they released 26-year-old cornerback Craig James. James started just 1 game in 2 seasons with the Eagles. The Birds now have an open roster spot. Jeff McClain joined us at 11:40. That interview has been podcasted to 97.5thefanatic.com, so check it out. Keep it locked to Fanatic all day for breaking news and information, Andrew. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Ricky Bo for Guided Door and Window. The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again, to keep your home cooling more efficiently and help save you on high energy bills. I suggest you go Guida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guided Door and Window. Right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple-pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and the pay it off interest-free for up to 18 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guide it today. Take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's GoGuida.com.
Hey, kids, I'm going to Wawa. Anybody want anything? It's Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is here. So, classic meatball and classic Italian with cherry pepper relish. And a new picture frame.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
There's an epic cookie battle happening right now at Wawa. Will it be Oreo cookies and cream frozen beverages? Or will you choose Chips Ahoy cream smoothies, milkshakes, and more? If you can't choose one, go for both in our limited time ultimate cookie mashup, made with real pieces of Oreo and Chips Ahoy cookies. 2 legendary cookies, 1 epic frozen treat. Gotta have a Wawa.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
There's never been a better time to get started with gig speed internet and advanced security from Comcast Business. And now, for a limited time, get 3 months on us. Call or go online today to learn more. And 7/21/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 1 gigabit internet. Security Edge, 1 voice line and Connection Pro customers only. 3-year contract required. 3 months on us after prepaid card redemption. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
For over 35 years, Health Partners Plans has been proudly caring for people in the community. Our nationally recognized Medicaid plan offers a growing network of doctors and hospitals so you can get care close to home. Health Partners can help you get the care you need, including doctor and hospital visits, prescriptions, immunizations, eye and dental care, and more. To learn more, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit hpplans.com. Health Partners, trusted care where and when you need it.
Come to Barlow Chevrolet in Delran this summer where savings are heating up. We're offering discounts below MSRP on select vehicles in stock. We have several Equinox, Silverado, and even Tahoe inbound. Reserve yours today. If there's a specific vehicle you want, order it from Barlow with no additional dealer fees or markups. At Barlow, we keep the buying process simple, convenient, and hassle-free. Start your summer off right at Barlow. Find new roads in Delran or at barlowchevrolet.com.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
If your friends are using Mr. Clean Clean Freak spray, you won't find grease on their stovetop, or soap scum in their bathtub, or tomato sauce splatter in their...
Why are you looking at my microwave? No reason.
Clean Freak is different than other spray cleaners. Its innovative spray nozzle delivers a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact, easily breaking down tough messes in seconds. Mr. Clean Clean Freak.
Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer, so we understand motorcycles. No, really, we have a bike translator.
Okay, so this bike feels like he's capable of a little more than just trips to the convenience store. Oh, also, he wants to let you know that you can buy a gallon of ice cream instead of a pint every time. Those are his words. So he said roughly like, blink the last wheel. It doesn't really translate, but the way he said it was super funny.
Get 24/7 roadside assistance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance subject to policy terms and limits and may require comprehensive coverage.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hello.
Let's make some noise. Come on.
Hi. 1:30. 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz until August 1st. That was fun. Did a little Instagram live during the break there and did a nice tour of the place.
People were very thankful. They like to know what's
thankful.
going on behind the scenes here.
It's kind of cool. Like, this is our everyday life, right? Sometimes I go, like, no, I'm not going to say, like, the job isn't cool, but, like, the board, we see it every day so that it's not like this, whoa, that is so cool, right? Because it's the board. It's, you push the button and all that kind of stuff. But when people see it for the first time, they're amazed by it, which is kind of cool. I remember a couple times when people came in here and, like, there was one guy who, like, was taking pictures, like, so many pictures. And I was like, man, that's really cool. I'm glad that you're enjoying it that way. So I gave a key word during the Instagram Live that I will say at some point. Not yet, but when I do, you will call the contest line at 215-263-0975. Now, here's the thing. So that Vito can vet it, that person, the 11th caller, Mike, I hope you're listening. The 11th caller, when they say the name, well, they have to tell you what the name is so that they're not just a random 11th caller. So, Mike, I hope you're listening. If you want to give me a thumbs up, that would be pretty cool. But I'll do that coming up later on. I also have another Buffalo Wild Wings gift card to give away at some point today. It's 610-632-0975. Vito just ran over and gave me the thumbs up, so that's pretty exciting. So, Tom, there's still a couple of position groups that we have not gotten to today, and we're going to run through it, so I want to finish them today before the end of the show. We still have edge rusher, defensive tackle, linebacker, safety, and tight end. Where would you like to go first?
Tight end.
You want to go tight end
Yeah,
first?
who
Okay.
cares?
I've mentioned that Dallas Goedert is in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. Number one. Can you guess number one?
My guess would be Travis Kelce.
Wrong. He's number two.
George
Can you
Kittle.
guess? Yes.
Okay.
I knew it would be one of those two guesses for you.
Can I guess three?
Yes.
Darren Waller.
Correct.
Look at that. That's all I got.
Can you? Okay. Number four.
I mean, I could try, but
Very talented. I think he's very talented. I'm not taking anything away. Benefits a lot from the offense he's in because of how much he's used.
is he going into his second year?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was thinking Kyle Pitts.
No, he's fifth. It's Mark Andrews from the Ravens.
Okay. Yeah.
So benefits Lamar Jackson, a lot of
really good
lot of
tight
moving
end.
parts. Oh no, very talented, but he also
he's the number one guy.
He's the number one guy on a team that utilizes their tight end line.
Correct.
Dallas Goedert is sixth on the list. Last year's ranking was sixth on the list.
Really?
I'm surprised. I don't remember these lists from last year. I must have missed them. I'm surprised he's this high. Was that high last year?
6 I'm fine with now, but yeah. Last year for him, because Ertz was still here at this time last year.
I like him a lot. I do. I'm surprised. Now, they also have the highest I don't know when they did the highest rankings. I guess it's like doing this every single year. At one point, he was fifth.
Dallas Goedert?
Yeah. So it says sixth, Dallas Goedert, Philadelphia Eagles. Highest ranking, fifth, lowest
Or
ranking
is that
out of top 10.
Is that highest ranking this year? Like
No.
from no?
No, they're saying because Travis Kelce at one point was 1, Kyle Pitts was 3 last year already.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Which is crazy. No, that's I think you're right.
Where it's
Kyle
like the
Pitts,
highest he was picked was number 5, and the lowest he was picked from a GM was out of the top 10. That's
I think that's what it's got to be. Yeah, because last year's ranking, he was unranked, Kyle Pitts. But last year's ranking, Dallas Goedert was 6th and is 6th again this year. Okay. 7th, TJ Hawkinson with the Lions. Very good tight end on an awful team.
Yeah.
Awful team.
You said Pitts was 6, right?
Yes. No, 5th. Goddard's 6th. Pitts was 5th.
Pitts over Hawkinson and Goddard. Interesting.
He didn't score a touchdown last year, did he? Kyle Pitts? Or did he have one? He had one touchdown last year.
He had over 1,000 yards to my knowledge, but yeah, I don't think the touchdowns were all that. He didn't have a ton of them.
Yeah, he had one touchdown last year. 1,026 yards, one touchdown, which is crazy.
Wow. And he's
Dalton Schultz, 8th for the Cowboys.
Because he wears a star on his helmet. That's why.
On this
the only reason.
I like Dalton Schultz, but come on, man. Dawson Knox, 9th for the Bills. Hunter Henry, 10th for the Patriots. Your honorable mentions, Mike Gesicki with the Dolphins. Pat Freiermuth with the Steelers. Zach Ertz, honorable mention with the Cardinals. And David Njoku with the Browns.
I'm shocked Gesicki's not in the top 10. And a guy like
Dalton Schultz shouldn't be in the top
It's because of the star, dude. That's all it is. That's why I hate him.
Come on, man. He shouldn't be in the top 10. You're also receiving votes were Jonnu Smith, Tyler Higbee, CJ Uzuma, Noah Fant, and Austin Hooper. So do you have any problem other than Dalton Schultz thing?
Kyle Pitts seems a little high for me, especially only having one touchdown last year. I understand
I think they just see him as a freak.
Yeah, they see what he projects to be and the potential in him, but when we're talking right now going into the season, that seems a little high. But I'm not going to, throw my hands up and freak out about it.
All right, I'm going to go linebackers next. And
is this interior
shocker,
or is this just kind of everything, linebacker?
Kind of everything. It says off ball, but shocker, no Eagles linebacker. Hopefully Nakobe Dean can get there at one point. Darius Leonard first, Micah Parsons second. So you could argue that Parsons is 1, Darius Leonard's a freak.
And he's been a freak.
He's so good.
Yes.
Parsons 2, Fred Warner 3, Devin White 4, very talented.
Yep.
Roquan Smith 5th with the Bears, Demario Davis 6th with the Saints. Tremaine Edmonds with the Bills is 7th. Bobby Wagner 8th with the Rams. That's an unfair signing. Screw the Rams, man.
Get that Allen Robinson, like the highest free agent.
Oh, we lost Von Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Bobby Wagner to play linebacker now. Levante David 9th with the Bucks, so they have 2 linebackers in the top 10. Jordan Brooks of the Seahawks. Your honorable mentions were Eric Kendricks, Devondre Campbell with the Packaneers.
Sorry?
The Packs.
Who's the Packs?
The Packaneers. The Green Bay Packers.
Okay, thank you. The Packs. Who calls them the Packs?
Go Pack Go.
Go Packs Go?
The Packaneers. Holy moly. C.J. Mosley with the Jets, Patrick Queen with the Ravens. They have a lot, man. All right, there's just way too many names. They have a lot of honorable mentions. But no Eagles.
I guess Hassan Reddick is more DN they project him as then.
Yeah, you know, that would make sense. Here, I'll get to that.
Because there's no way Hassan Reddick's not in the top 18 or whatever that you mentioned.
All right, so edge rushers. We'll do this one. And then we'll get back to the phones. And T.J. Watt 1.
It's fun.
Fine. Myles Garrett 2. Fine. Nick Bosa 3. Fine.
No issues.
Joey Bosa 4. Fine. Max Crosby 5. That's ridiculous. Like, those are so good. Like, that's just...
Crosby at 5 is ridiculous. Not like that's how good the DNs are in the league. That Max Crosby is
he's
number
5th,
5.
right.
Because he's unbelievable.
Von Miller 6th. Chandler Jones 7th. I remember there was a rumor that the Eagles were after Chandler Jones, and oh my God, did I get excited. And no, he's now with the Raiders. Brian Burns with the Panthers is 8th. Khalil Mack all the way down to 9.
Chargers, right?
The Chargers.
Yeah, that big move.
And Cam Jordan 10th with the Saints. The Saints are going to be interesting this year because Jameis Winston could be very good. You and I had that debate last week. Could he be better than Jalen Hurts? I think he can be. Just based off of raw talent, the stuff that we saw last year. I think he's really starting to figure it out. He just got hurt, unfortunately, for him last year. And they do still have Alvin Kamara whenever he's available after, he punched somebody. And then there's players talented on defense.
Yeah, and Michael Thomas, I believe, should be back
eventually
this year.
Yeah,
who knows when? It's so weird, that situation.
And they just have to run slant routes all the time.
Yeah.
He doesn't get stopped.
They do have a ton of talent, but there are a ton of question marks.
Right, so it's like the Eagles don't have many top 10 players, but they have elite groups.
Yes.
Or very good groups. And then the Saints have, top 10 players at certain spots, and you go, man, there's still a question mark. Trey Hendrickson, honorable mention. Chase Young, who I think he's going to have a bounce back.
Yeah.
They were down a lot. Like I still kind of am concerned about the Washington Commanders this year, if I'm being completely honest with you. They have a great defensive line, a lot of talent on that defense, Terry McLaurin. And if Carson figures it out, which I know is a major question mark, I think they're going to be a pretty tough team this year. And we'll see. Like, the NFC East might be strong again. It's all on Wentz. If he's a mess, then they're not winning anything. But if he has a good season statistically like last year, but also has a good head on his shoulders, they could be scary. They really could be.
Terry McLaurin, top 10-ish receiver in the NFL. Antonio Gibson's a really nice young running back. Yeah, they have a ton of potential.
They could be scary. Shaq Barrett, DeMarcus Lawrence. And then you're also receiving votes. Josh Allen, not the quarterback Josh Allen, but the guy that strip-sacked Josh Allen with the Jaguars. Robert Quinn with the Bears. Rashawn Gary.
So no Hassan Reddick.
No Hassan Reddick.
Wow. And he's got like 20 in it. Over 20 sacks in the last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah.
They were throwing, when that initial signing happened, they were throwing stats around where it's like, in this amount of time, the last 3 seasons, only 4 players have more sacks than Hassan Reddick. Like, I remember seeing those types of stats around. But gets no love.
And that's the weird thing, right? Like, I know that we sometimes overrate players. That's egregious that he's not.
For Miles Sanders to be mentioned as an honorable mention in his position group, but Hassan Reddick isn't mentioned, there's something wrong.
Sanders, he wasn't honorable mention. He was an also receive votes.
Okay. But he didn't even receive any votes, Reddick, correct?
Correct. No, his name didn't even pop up.
That's not right.
That's kind of messed up. Going to get to Uncle Frank in a second, but I do want to say that coming up at 2 o'clock is Devon Givens and Tyler Zulli who is rocking a very nice Jimmy Rollins jersey. A very nice Jimmy Rollins jersey.
It's a nice jersey.
It's a nice jersey. A Jimmy Rollins jersey. Let's go to Uncle Frank. What's up, Uncle Frank?
Oh, man, you can't let Omaha Slim know I'm coming up. He'll start, want me zapped.
Tom's Omaha Slim?
Or whatever his name, Omaha. The kid from Omaha.
Jared. No, Jared is our. What are you talking about?
Isn't there a guy from Omaha always wants me zapped?
Jared, and he still is wondering, when are you going to say yes to having a drink with him at FanFest?
Oh, I would love to. I can't, I need a golf cart to get around, but I would love to.
I'll take care of you.
Oh.
Dude, that should be one of the events. Drive around a golf cart with Uncle Frank, especially after a few drinks of clear.
Actually, you should sell tickets for that.
Yeah, we'll probably have to sign a few life insurance policies, but yeah, we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Tommy, how about our boy who was heavy with alacrity this morning, Andrew? You were going off.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. At this point, I want to embrace it, man.
I love your content. Tommy, give me, when you get a chance, give me the cuckoo clock, because Andrew needs that.
What did I do?
Yeah, you just went off a little. It was great. Oh, by the way, hi to Christy and CVS. CVS, you'll meet me at some point.
Oh, yeah.
God willing. No, I love the fact, regarding our fandom, right? No one likes us, we don't care. But then we have the knee-jerk reaction when some J.O. like Will Bond or that idiot in Texas. We have the knee-jerk reaction, right? We react. But I look at us as a sports monastery. Like I've had a crew digging a moat around the lawn, and one crew's building a wall. We're in our own. I just use the sports monastery as an example, but we're kind of in our own domain,
Okay.
I find it hard. There's a balance. There's a balance between we don't give a rat's ass what anyone says about us, but then we get our backs up when they do. So it's a fine balance, and it's interesting content. It really is.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're getting some interesting content today. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're enjoying yourself.
I thought it was slow. I called in. What do you want from me?
Thanks, man. That's really kind of you. You are getting a lot of zap emojis on our YouTube chat, and yes, Jared has checked in with the zap
Jared,
emoji.
I would love to have anyone. All right, enough, Mike.
Are you all right? Are you done? Oh, did he drop himself?
I think he hung up, yeah.
All right.
I think the YouTube chat got to him a little bit.
I'm going to say something off the air, okay? So. All right, I just said something off the air to Tom. Because here's the thing. I love our YouTube audience, and I love how everybody's just sending in a bunch of zaps. Dude, I have no idea what Uncle Frank was talking about. So thank you, YouTube, for watching. So I want to do something for our YouTube audience, okay? Let me do this. Let's see if you guys know in case you don't know the number. Here we go. I'm going to do this, all right? For our YouTube audience. This is why you should watch on YouTube. I always want to try to incorporate the YouTube audience in some way, and I get that sometimes you don't get a chance to win a few things. So I'm doing something right now on our YouTube feed, and I know there's a little bit of a delay, so if you're listening right now, you should probably just try to jump on real quick also. Let's see. I have to see in a delay if you can actually read that.
My arm's going to be sore.
Yeah. Like, it sucks because it's like about a 30-second to minute-long delay, so I just watched myself covering an important part of the message here. But hopefully this does something for our YouTube audience because I want to take care of my friends there, okay? Because we had an incredible food drop today from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I appreciate that. So hopefully this does something, all right? That phone number that you see right there, it's 215-263-0975, all right? Number 10, okay? To our YouTube audience. I like taking care of them.
It's nice of you.
They're all nice
They
to
should
me.
be taken care of.
They're nice to me. Brandon says we can't see. I hope it got fixed. Yeah. All right, one more position group we'll get to before we get out of here, Tom. Let's do. Trying to think. Like the Eagles don't really have much left here. I guess we'll
do
go
interior D line. Do they have that at all? Because you would think Hargrave.
Defensive tackles. Yes. Here you go. Thank you. Aaron Donald 1. Duh.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons of the Titans 2. Chris Jones 3 with the Chiefs. DeForest Buckner 4 with the Colts. Cam Hayward 5 with the Steelers. Kenny Clark 6 with the Packers. Vita Vea 7th with the Bucks. I think he could actually be higher.
Yeah,
he's a stud, dude.
That's very low.
Eric Armstead 8th with the Niners. Grady Jarrett 9th with the Falcons. And Jonathan Allen 10th with the Commanders.
Also low, but coming off an injury last year, correct? I believe Allen
Yes.
did. Yeah.
Your honorable mentions. Leonard Williams with the Giants. Hargrave, the second honorable mention.
Okay.
The little blurb, Eagles signing of Hargrave 2 years ago has looked really smart. He posted 7.5 sacks and earned his first Pro Bowl. Serious lower body power, an AFC scout said. The leverage and quickness he creates is ridiculous. DJ Jones of the Broncos. And how about this? The final honorable mention, Fletcher Cox.
Wow. But, just how far he's fallen from grace to an extent. Now, he's still, going to get snaps. He's still a significant player at moments.
Yes.
But, man, we were talking about Fletcher Cox like a top 3 D tackle in the league for a majority of his time here. And now he's barely getting an honorable mention.
So, but I'm surprised he even got one.
Yeah,
If I'm being honest.
I wouldn't be shocked.
So here's the blurb that they said for Fletcher Cox. It's a bit of surprise to see Cox out of the top 10, but after 10 seasons, he's no longer considered the star he once was. In March, the Eagles waived Cox for cap purposes, only to bring him back on a one-year deal. Quote, he's declined a little bit, but he's still a good starter. You can still turn it on when you need him. That's what an NFC executive said. So it's funny. They say it's a bit of a surprise to see Cox out of the top 10. I'm surprised to even see him as an honorable mention.
Now, this is GMs around the league. We're talking and breaking down every single play for the Eagles. You know what I mean? I know coaches are as well, but we're following it every single day.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. And I do still think, I'm
not saying they don't watch the tape and know what's going on, but
yeah,
we legit do it every single day here.
I was disappointed because remember in the beginning of the season he was getting double teamed a lot, right? Which helped Javon Hargrave have a ridiculous start to the season.
Yep.
And then they started doubling Hargrave. And I thought maybe Cox would step up, and unfortunately he didn't. Now, the defense did play better, but they played just dog crap teams. So, I don't know exactly what to believe. But he is an honorable mention, according to the executives, coach, and scouts. So we really dove in deep into the Eagles' talent on the roster today, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in and joining in. Tomorrow, I have something about the Roaring 20s that I'm going to get to. Because it's something that I thought about earlier today, but I really wanted to do this Eagles thing first. But I'm going to get into it tomorrow, the Roaring 20s. And I typed it in my notes. And I wonder if it's still going to be okay or not. We touched on it a little bit last week before Anthony went on vacation. We'll discuss it more in depth tomorrow. So, Tom, looking forward to hanging out with you again tomorrow. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings for the incredible food drop today. I'm glad our YouTube audience won some, and also the person who watched on the Instagram Live today. Devon Givens, Tyler Zulli, coming your way next. Can't wait to listen to that right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto wins the Derby. I'm Tom Alborn. This update is brought to you by Bally's Atlantic City. New or inactive Bally's Reward members sign up for a Bally Reward card and they'll match your AC casino offer and tier status. Must be 21. Gambling